Continuing to move forward with our new company now.
The Easy Mat plate is our flagship product, followed by our innovative Easy Shim product.
Our range includes diamond trail plates, ultra-sized dies, cards and sticky sheets.
We're constantly developing new and unusual products, so watch this space.
On our shows, we hope to inspire you with our products so that you can carry on crafting, because our motto is, because we can.
So don't miss the Scarlet Rose craft shows on Hochanda.
Flexi order has arrived at Hochanda. What is Flexi order? When you place an item on FlexiBuy in your basket, you qualify for Flexi order, which means any other items you add to your basket will also be included in your FlexiBuy payments, so you can spread the cost over multiple monthly payments. After your first payment is made, your entire order will be dispatched. When you add at least £60 worth of any items to your shopping baskets, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flexi Order offer. This means you can spread the cost of your order over equal monthly FlexiBuy payments, offering you the extra flexibility when you shop with us. Flexi Order, making your shopping experience with Hochanda easier.
Hi, I'm Bev. Hi, I'm Sam, and we're from Be Crafty. Be Crafty is a family-run company. Sam is my sister, and we love bringing brand new products to Hochanda. We manufacture and design all our own ranges of stamps, inkables, MDF, lots and lots of inspiration that we love to bring and share with you.
If you tune in to Hochanda to join us, you'll see that mine and Bev's style are totally different. But what that does is it brings you lots of styles and techniques that you can include in your crafting too.
Our ranges are increasing all the time with the lovely hand-drawn images that Sam and myself are trying to bring to you, plus the fantastic new designs that we like to bring in the inkables, in the dinkables and the MDF as well, so you can use them across all different sorts of crafts and bring the best we can to Hochanda too. So make sure you don't miss the Be Crafty shows on Hochanda.
Hello there, good morning. Brand new day here at Hochanda, and I always love it when we start off brand new day with a new supplier who I'm going to introduce you to in just a few moments. But you can see the name on your screen there, Parchment, which is an unusual name, I'm sure you'll agree. But we'll learn more about it from the lovely Sammy, who is here, and it's Sammy's company. Good morning. Good morning, Sammy. Welcome to Hochanda.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, I have to say, your embroidery designs are exquisite. There's something a little bit different, because, I mean, embroidery is very much a traditional style of craft, but the designs that you've come with, I mean, these are very on trend. I hate that phrase, but they are trendy designs that we've got here.
Thank you. Yeah. It kind of came from when I was like looking for a Christmas present for my mum 4 years ago now, I think.
Okay.
And I really wanted to embroider her something. I couldn't find anything that I thought would really suit her, and I thought it kind of needed a bit of updating.
Yes.
So I just ended up making my own.
And I've got to ask, because I know it's the first question I ask, and I know our viewers will be asking, Parchment, what is Parchment?
Parchment, it means embroidery in Scots. So I'm based in Edinburgh.
Oh, I see. Oh, fabulous city.
Yeah.
Fabulous city.
Yeah, lovely. So it means embroidery, and it means an ostentatious display as well, which I thought was a great way of describing
perfect word then. Absolutely perfect. I love it. And how did you get into embroidery yourself? Was it a passion that it's kind of ignited the company?
It hasn't always been. No, my mum taught me to sew when I was really young. And then I self-taught myself maybe about 4 years ago when I started the company. But my mum always talks about when I was 7, I think, I decided I was going to start a business called Sammy's Sewing.
Good. And it's got a ring to it.
That was set aside for maybe 20 or 25 years, and then suddenly came back again.
Oh, I love it. So perhaps that passion's always been inside there deep down. Is it okay if I show everybody what we've got?
Yeah, please.
Fabulous. Well, we've got some amazing designs to share with you. And I do suggest you jump ahead and have a look on the website, because we have got lots and lots of choice. But I'm going to take you through the first details that we've got on the screen. We've actually got 4 different options with these, so don't worry, we will show you everything that you're going to get within these kits and all the different designs. But I think it's important for us to go through everything that you're getting to start with. First thing is the design. Have a look at this. This is incredible. I love this. In papercraft, we do a thing called Zen doodling, where you're just kind of filling in gaps with kind of doodles. That's almost what we've got with your designs.
It's a little, yeah, it's a sort of paisley style, sort of mandala, sort of Zen thing, yeah.
Love it, absolutely love it. Now, I know we are live on Facebook as well, so if you are watching on Facebook, do drop us a note. Let us know what you're thinking about these fabulous designs. And again, like us, welcome Sammy to Hochanda here. And I mean, I love these. Now, stitch-wise, what have we got here? We've got a huge glossary of stitches.
Not a huge glossary though, there's 10 basic stitches.
Okay.
So something as simple as a short running stitch.
French knot.
A French knot,
I love a French knot.
Love French knots, it's tricky, but once you get the hang of it, then they're great. Some daisy stitches, all sorts.
Perfect. So obviously we've got our hoop. Now I noticed we've got 2 hoops within this set.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yes. So there's one hoop, the bamboo sort of screw top one.
Yes.
That's for working
Oh, I see.
in.
Different kind of clasps on
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So these are the ones that sort of tighten them up in the frame. And then I've included the display hoops as well, just because I think they look absolutely gorgeous with the sort of hanging hoop on the top there as well.
Gorgeous, and that's what you've got your work in here, which looks absolutely amazing, as you can see. Now, you've got your fabric in here. It's all beautifully packaged, I have to say. You've got, obviously, all the elements that you need, but look at the box that it comes with. Oh, dear, I've just pulled that apart. So it comes with a fabulous box here. So if you are thinking gifts with regards to these, but obviously, within the box, you've got your fabric. You've got a little bit of felt there as well.
Yes, yeah, felt for backing the pieces.
Of course,
yeah.
let me show you
They
that.
tend to be a little messy on the back, so I like to stitch some felt in to cover it
Covers a
up.
multitude of sins.
Exactly.
I love it. Plenty of thread in there as well, I have to say. Very generous with your threads. And, of course, fabulous little card there. What's this paper that we've got here?
Oh, so this is the carbon paper. This is how how I transfer the pattern onto the paper.
Right.
So it's a really good way of getting it onto darker fabrics when you can't use a water marker or an erasable pen. I always use carbon paper.
Love it. So you've got that in there, which isn't easy to come by nowadays, is it, carbon paper?
No, apparently not. But
used to be all the thing, all the rage when I was learning to type, many, many years ago. Then you've got your booklet. Now, I have to say, this is a comprehensive booklet that you've got.
I hope so. I've tried to write it out so that it's great for beginners, people who are starting out if they've never done any sort of needlecraft before, or people who have just done cross-stitch maybe. So it's got pictures, every single stitch. It's got a step-by-step guide for them. So
Love it.
Should be really helpful.
Oh, there's loads in there. Love the photographs in there, getting right in close so we can see exactly what you're doing with those. And then, of course, it's the design. Now, the design comes to you over multiple pages. So on the front there, you've got an idea of where you're aiming for, what you're looking to achieve. And then what have we got within the pages?
So that's just the instructions as to kind of how to start off, hoop up. Then we have the stencil here, which is the one that you draw over onto the fabric. And the coloured one is the key, so it tells you which colours to use and which stitches go where.
And I love that. You've got a really easy key to follow at the bottom there. I'm guessing as well, with these, they're not just for in hoops.
No, I mean, I've got this one on my bag here.
Oh, yeah.
And they can be put on cushions. You could reuse the stencil afterwards, sort of quilting patches, that sort of thing.
Love it. Love it. Well, our whale is proving to be very popular already. 10% of the stock has gone. I've got another 3 designs to show you yet, so have a little look. If that is the one that you fancy getting hold of, details are there, £21.49. You've got 4 options. That's your first of your options. Now, the other kits, we're going to go through a bit speedily because you've got more of the same. So you've got your 2 hoops, your display hoop, your working hoop. You've got a fabulous box. You've got that wonderful book there with all the guide and the information. Carbon paper, all the threads. But this time, have a look at this one. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Now, I've got lots of people on Facebook wanting to see the peacock. You're going to have to hold on a minute because I want to look at the elephant. Look how amazing this is. This is beautiful. It's got a very kind of ethnic feel to the design that we've got here. Beautiful.
Yes, yeah, this one was just all about the colours for me.
Yes, nice earthy feel to it. I like that. Isn't that beautiful? Kind of inspires me to think of places like India and warmer climes and things like that. Gorgeous. Beautiful design. Now, if you excuse the pun, the peacock is flying. Only short distances, because they can't go too far, can they? This is a gorgeous... We do like our peacocks here at Hochanda.
Oh, good.
20% of the stock has gone. This looks absolutely amazing. Look at this design. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you really created some amazing designs with these ones.
Thank you. Yeah, I love the gold in this one and the sort of teal turquoise colour. It's my favourite one in the world. I use it in everything.
It's beautifully on that blue, doesn't it? We've got metallic threads in this one as well.
Yes, yeah. These ones are a little bit trickier to work with the metallic threads, especially with something like a French knot. But
Okay.
it's just practice. Once you get it, it's great.
And it's because the thread is made up in a different way. It's kind of got that metallic whipped around it, hasn't it? So it's kind of can have a little bit of a mind of its own at times. But that is a beauty. I could just imagine that on something like a denim jacket or something like that.
That'd be great,
amazing. Proving to be very popular, as I say, 20% of the stock has gone of this particular one. Again, £21.49, incredibly affordable. We have got some items coming up, incidentally, that are on Flexi Buy as well. So have a look on the website, because if you're adding those into your basket, which I know many of you are already doing, you can add any of these in for an extra, where am I, £10.75p-ish? Something like that, at 7 minutes past 7 in the morning. That's as close as I can get. £10.75, had that confirmed. And now the last one that you've got in your series of 4 that we've been looking at, and this is beautiful. This one has got a gorgeous style to it. The orange tree. Look
Yes.
there.
Yeah, I actually came up with this one. I went to a May Morris exhibition.
You know, I was just going to say, it's very kind of, that's giving me that feeling of that William Morris look.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
She was head embroiderer at
Yes,
Morris & Co,
yeah.
so I'm a big fan of hers.
What's not to love, though, to be frank? I mean, absolutely amazing. And this looks beautiful. And again, I love it because it's embroidery. It's not simplistic. It's maybe not as extravagant and as kind of showy as the elephant or the peacock, but I just love this style. Very contemporary look to it, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful? And that's going to feature beautifully in any home. I am sure you'll agree with that one. So that your set of 4, £21.49. As I say, just to reiterate, if you are just joining us, every single one of those kits, every time I do it, come beautifully boxed with that wraparound. So if you are looking at buying it as a gift for somebody, beautiful to wrap up. I love a box to wrap up, makes it easy, doesn't it? Nice and simple. Every single one of those kits, you're going to get comprehensive instructions, full colour. You've got your stitch guide in here. You've also got your template ready for you to trace out, so don't worry, everything is included in here. Talking of tracing out your template, within your kit, you're going to get the carbon paper, which we'll see in action in a few moments. Your 2 hoops, one as a working hoop, one as a decorative hoop, your fabric, your felt to go on the back as well, and then loads and loads of thread there, way more thread than you're going to need for your project, I am sure. And of course a needle, so you can get started the moment you get it home. Only thing you need in addition really is a pair of scissors, and to be honest, when you come to check out your order, have a little look at your end of cord, because you've got some really cute scissors that you could be potentially adding in. I might show you them a little bit later on, so don't worry, we will show you a little bit later on with regards to those. But of course, Christmas is on the horizon, dare I say it. Now already 10% of the stock has gone of this. I was joking earlier on saying the postman's going to have loads of fun delivering all of these parcels. It's going to sound like Santa Claus coming up for you.
It's so jingly.
Those jingle bells on there. This is, again, a lovely design.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to go with something that could be a sort of traditional Christmas decoration, but again with a sort of more modern twist on it, and I thought this was something that you can just bring out year after year, you know.
Isn't it gorgeous? I love it, and I love that red that you've got there. It's not too bright, it's not like a pillar box red, it's a proper kind of another see red again, that phrase coming in again. So 886099, this one is £22.49. Exactly the same concept, all the different elements, fabulous box. I'm ready with that wrap around this time. I'm holding on to it so it doesn't fall off. If you're wanting this one, 886099, and again 10% of the stock has gone, so a lovely, lovely kit. Now, the next one that we've got for you is a series. You're loving these, and I'm not surprised. The artwork from these, absolutely amazing. You've kind of got a theme running between each of these with those mountains. You can see here the mountain scenes, but then those gorgeous sunrises, sunsets, you can decide. Now with these, they have been very, very popular already. What was that update again? 20% of the stock. I haven't even shown you these ones. Now, you're going to get all 3 of these within the set.
That's right, yeah, a set of 3. So I like to display them sort of one over the other, but
yeah. Beautiful. Again, gorgeous colours. Love, I mean, what was the inspiration with regards to these? Where did this idea come from?
This was really just sort of, I love spending time in nature, getting outside. I find it a big stress reliever for me doing embroidery, and especially with these ones, it just really helps put my mind at peace. Yeah.
And I love it, and it is one of those things, if you see a gorgeous scene, you can't help but take a photograph or something like that, don't you? And this is exactly what you've got. Now, you're going to get all 3 of these. But this particular one, you've got your Flexi Buy on, so as I'm sure you will have spied, you can spread the cost over 2 payments of £25 each. Exactly the same as the other kits, you are going to get your 2 hoops. You're still getting that. You're still getting your carbon paper, your fabric, your felts, your threads in there. Look at all these threads. threads. You are getting loads of threads in there. And of course, you're going to get your comprehensive stitch guide as well as the box for everything to come in. So, I mean, whether you are stitching these for yourself or you are thinking as a gift, either stitched out as a gift or giving it as a kit, it is an amazing bundle. And like you say, 3 good size embroideries there for that price of £50. I think is an amazing deal for you. So 398144, and of course this is the item where you've got your flexi buy, which of course means you can add in those additional items that we've been talking about. So £49.99 being your price, spread over 2 payments of £25. Now if you are looking at adding more than one set in, keep an eye on your post and packing, please do, because you will have noticed that when you add that first item in, you'll have your post and packing, but then for every additional item, there's a little bit more post and packing that's being added on. Freedom members, you don't have to worry though, because for just £5.97, you have got a full month's worth of unlimited standard delivery. You're not contracted, you can dip in and dip out as and when you want to, and we do have some amazing discounts. Look out for the blue banners when you're shopping online and also during the shows. Monthly newsletter gives you a little bit of a heads up onto what's coming up, and of course your members badge, which when we get back out on those show circuits, we will just be looking forward to seeing you donning those members badges. So yeah, if you fancy getting involved, 888 you can tick the box as you're checking out your order online or speak to our call operators as they complete your order. But I think we need to get started with that demonstration. So Sammy, are you ready for the spotlight?
I'm ready, thank you.
Fabulous, take it away.
Great, so I thought we'd start with the transferring the pattern onto the fabric, because like I said, we've got carbon paper, but I think it's less commonly used nowadays. I'm not sure, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, some people won't even know what it is. These youngsters out there. Whippersnappers.
Yeah, and for me, it's the best way, because I love using these dark fabrics, the blues and the reds, so it's the best way to get it on there.
And it's quite refreshing seeing that dramatic dark fabric, because quite often we'll see Aida and kind of your linen and things like that with regards to embroidery, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the carbon paper, it usually comes either yellow or white.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter which one you use. I'll just use the white one for now. And yeah, it's super easy. You want to lie your fabric flat down on the table. You want a really sort of hard, flat surface, something to lean on. And then your carbon paper, it's got two sides. There's one that's sort of more waxy, perhaps, it's got a coating on it, and then there's a sort of papery side as well.
Lovely.
So you want the one with the coating, the waxy side, you want that face down on the fabric.
Okay.
And then you just get your stencil. This is the sunset one.
Lovely.
And you just want to lie it down dead in the middle of your fabric, just like that.
Lovely. And is this the same technique whichever of those kits that you go for? No, that set of 4 that we've been chatting about, that obviously we're talking about the set of 3, should I say, but the options of 4 different designs that we showed you at the top of the show, we are very busy for those. They're at the bottom of the screen as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Lovely.
So once you've got it all laid down, you just need to get a ballpoint pen, a biro, and then just sort of scribble over the top, draw over the top, following the stencil. It's super easy, and you just want to keep it in the same place. So I've seen people before who sort of masking tape the top and the bottom just to keep it in place.
Okay.
And then you just want to draw over the top.
And it's nice seeing you doing this at our little coffee table here, because this is something that you could have at home. It could be a dining room table, kitchen table. Don't need any special equipment.
Exactly. This is how I normally do it, not in front of the telly.
That makes sense.
So I'm just going to do a sort of simplified version here. It normally takes maybe 10 minutes or so to stencil one out, so I won't do the whole thing.
Is it good to trace that? I mean, obviously time is the issue here, so I know that you're kind of doing a brief version of this, but if you're at home, are you best to trace out every single line that's there?
I would say so, yes, I tend to. I think people who are a bit more confident might prefer freestyling it, or if they want to sort of add their own little touches, they could sort of do the big shapes.
And how do you know that you've traced those lines when you're going over? Because if you're using the same colour ballpoint pen, you might not be able to see, I'm guessing.
I can use a blue one as well often. Often I'll do that just so I can check.
Yeah.
And then if you lift it up, I try not to move it at the same time, but you can see how it sort of starts to print out on the fabric.
That really does stand out, doesn't it, that light on there?
Yeah, so it's great. With carbon paper, I find that the lines, they're quite durable, so they do last long enough for you to complete the whole project.
Okay. But will you see them when you stitch, or do the stitches cover them up?
The stitches cover them up, and then every so often, because you might accidentally go wrong or kind of go over the lines, it's really easy to remove it, just sort of gently scrubbing with a cotton bud.
And a
bit of dish soap, so if I come to the end and it's showing, I just give it a little scrub.
Sounds good to me. Lovely, nice and easy. That's sounds like no pressure, a very easy way for you to get that design laid down.
Indeed.
Lovely, so you carry on with that. absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, we've got the details on the screen because that's the design that Sammy's working with. It comes from that wonderful series of 3. But we are very, very busy for those 4 options that we were looking at. It's the same technique that Sammy's working with here, but you have got your 4 different options with regards to these. So, of course, you've got the fabulous whale. It's proving to be incredibly popular. Shall I bring some of the other ones in to show you as well? So you've got also the elephant. That is another one of those options that you've got with regards to this one. Another option that you've got with this one is the fabulous peacock. Absolutely incredible, as you can see there. You're liking the peacock. And the final one is very much that Morris-inspired orange tree, as you can see there. So whichever of those you're choosing to go for, or maybe you're choosing to go for multiples of them. Just to let you know that with regards to the whale, 30% of the stock has gone. So if that is your preferred choice, please make sure you're placing your order and checking out your order as quickly as you can. But of course, the others are proving to be very popular as well. You're liking that peacock as well. Same technique that we've seen from Sammy. So we're going to head back over to Sammy and see how she's getting on over there. How are you doing, Sammy?
Very well, thank you. Yeah.
Fabulous.
So just stenciling away. I'm just doing the big shapes in this one, just so it doesn't take too long. So I've just sort of done the outside bits here in the mountains, and then I lift it off. You can sort of see.
Yeah,
it's coming out really clearly. And then once you've done all the stenciling, you can just pop it in the hoop and start stitching.
I love it. Okay, so should we go straight into the stitching side of things? You've got it all hooped up and ready?
Yeah, so I've got my hoop stand here.
Oh, what is this? What's this contraption?
Well, this is my hoop stand, which I absolutely love.
Okay.
Because I sit on the sofa all the time when I'm stitching.
Okay.
And I kind of find myself really hunching over a lot of the time. I'm sort of bringing it up here. So I've got myself a hoop stand, and it's brilliant. It saves...
Your hands are free as well. You're not having to hold the hoop in one hand.
Exactly. It's great, because sometimes I would get sort of achy fingers if I was doing it for too long. And these ones, you can sort of, alter it to the height that you need.
And can you use it with the side hoops as well, or is it just the hoops in the kit?
Any size hoops.
Okay.
Yeah, it just sort of clamps onto them. You can use them with anything.
Lovely.
And so I've already done a bit of the back stitch on this one here.
Wonderful. Pop the details up on the screen, because we have got that hoop available for you as well. So if you do fancy getting hold of that, the details there. And of course, if you're adding it in alongside the set of 3 with the flexi order, you can spread the cost of that as well.
Yeah, so I've done the back stitch already. This is just one stitch, and you can kind of see how it already starts to build up the colour.
Beautiful.
The textures a little bit. And so this maybe took me, let's say, an hour to do these ones, something like that.
And which part of the design do you start with? Does it matter? Is it the sunrise? Is it the mountains?
It doesn't matter too much. I tend to do it by stitch sometimes, which might be a good way if you're learning as well, because then you can sort of practice one of them over and over again.
And have you got the stitch guide there to show us how you know which of those different stitches go into which area?
Yes, yeah. So I've got this one here for the sunset.
Perfect,
so we've got the sort of straight lines for the back stitch, the dotted lines here for a chain stitch, and the sort of flower shapes and the dots for a French knot.
And I like it. So do you get different colours dependent on the different threads that you're using for that particular stitch?
Yes.
Oh, that makes it easy. No cross-referencing.
No.
I love it.
Keeping it as easy as possible.
I like that idea.
So once I've done the back stitch here, I thought I'd start off with some daisy stitches.
Fabulous,
they come together quite nicely, and then I can carry on using this orange colour, which really sort of brightens it up a little bit.
And this stitch, the daisy stitch, do we see that in lots of the different kits?
Yes, yeah, they're in all of them. So it's the same 10 stitches that are used in all of the kits.
Perfect.
So they're great for learning, and all of these techniques are used in all of them.
So as soon as you kind of complete one of them, you've kind of got the conditioning and the knowledge to do any of those stitches then?
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's sort of aiming to teach people, and then they can go on and create their own projects, or create their own designs. Like come away with new skills. Yeah,
I love it. And of course, you're working within your hoop here on the fabric that comes within the kit. But of course, you could use that design, as we said before, the bag that you've got, clothing, gifts that you're creating as well. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm just going with the daisy stitch just here, and there we go. I think I've done that one backwards, you know. Oh, no, it's okay.
You're okay.
I'm slightly distracted.
Live TV for you. Things can go a little bit crazy when you're doing live TV.
I think that's the good thing about embroidery, though, because you can always just sort of undo it if you do it wrong.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
So there we go. We've got one petal of the daisy stitch there, and then you just go all the way around. It's just a sort of single chain stitch.
Love it.
A detached
I
one.
love it. Could you show us again, because we didn't quite catch it before?
Yes,
it comes up through the centre.
Yep, through the centre, and then you've got a big loop here, and you put it back down pretty much through the centre again, or very close to.
So it's not exactly straight through the same hole, it's just to the side?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, lovely.
A tiny, tiny millimetre over. And you pull it through and you've got this loop left
Right,
here.
okay.
And then you want to come up at the end of where a petal is going to be.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And then make sure your needle goes through the big loop of thread that you've left.
The middle of the loop, got that, yeah.
That's it. And then just pull it through.
Right.
And so you've got the petal, and then you just need to anchor it down on the other side with a tiny stitch, just a millimetre.
I see. So that makes it stay in that kind of loopy shape.
Yeah, that's it.
Clever.
That's it. And so I've started with the opposite petals here, because I prefer doing that just to sort of make sure that the flower ends up even on each side.
That's a good point, actually, because if you kind of was doing it all the way around, you could end up with too big a gap at the end.
Yeah, that's
Makes
it.
sense. Like that.
So
yeah.
try and keep it symmetrical.
And there you go.
And then just work all the way around.
Love it. This hoop stand is proving to be very, very popular, and I've got it here. I was just having a little look at it, actually. Good weight to it as well, so you know you kind of got that confidence of the support with regards to this. And you can see there where it's holding the round hoop. It doesn't come with a hoop, though, does it? It's just the frame itself.
Just the frame itself.
Just to let you know that. But you will notice from the imagery there, you can use the round hoops, obviously the working hoops that you're getting within Sammy's kits, but you can also use, as you can see here, tapestry hoop if you are wanting to work with that as well. Good size hoops as well. If I turn that around, you'll be able to see with regards to the packaging. Actually, I've turned it around, it's on both sides. It's the same on both sides. Bonus, they're 2 for the price of 1. Love it. So you can use up to a 12-inch hoop, which of course is 30 centimetres, and that's with regards to your tapestry hoops. Similarly, with regards to your embroidery, you can actually use quilting hoops with this as well, which is good, up to about 25 centimetres, which is your 10-inch as well. And it's clever because you've got that kind of, it's almost like a paddle. And I know you're very elegantly sitting with it, because I must admit, I didn't expect it to go in that position, shall we say?
Oh, yeah.
Without going into too great a detail. But I suppose if you're wearing trousers, you could have it sitting comfortably.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to say with regards to that. Use your imagination for the rest of it. 203 254 £29 and 49 pence. I'm ever so sorry, while you've been stitching it, I've just been rummaging. These scissors that you've brought to us are beautiful.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Now these are when you actually come to check out your order. Have a look at these, because these are exquisite. I'm going to bring them up one by one so we can have a proper close look. As a gift for somebody, anybody who stitches, these are going to be absolutely beautiful. Or just so as you've got a gorgeous pair of scissors. Now these ones are your dragons, but have a look at these. Absolutely beautiful. When you come to check out your order, you will find these. So you've got your scissors with regards to your dragon. You've got your little hair, as you can see there, and your little hair running across the edge of your scissors there. And then finally, you've got these gorgeous snake-like scissors as well. Each one of those are available when you come to check out your order. So yeah, on the website, couldn't be simpler. When you come to check out, you'll obviously complete your order. You'll check out safely, as it says there, but then it will give you those little add-ons. So you can add on any one of these pairs, or you can go for multiples if you're wanting to. And you can see there's no additional post and packing with regards to these. You just choose the option that you're wanting to go for, pop them into your basket. And again, those items, if you're adding them to your flexi order, you're spreading the cost as well. So it's only £4 and 25 pence if you are going down that route. So there you go. Love it. How are you getting on over there, Sammy?
Very well, thank you. I wondered if we should start with some French knots.
What do you think? Are we ready for a French knot? I mean, it's 7:25 in the morning. Is that a bit early?
It might be. They do tend to be the trickiest ones, but I think once you've got the knack of it...
It's a very useful
golden
stitch to have, though, isn't it? So
it's great, yeah.
Let's go for it, then.
Let's go for it. OK, so I've got some orange ones here again, and so we'll be putting them sort of around these bits, sort of on the inner sunset.
OK.
So let's see. You want to come up through the fabric, pull it all the way through, and then take this in your non-needle hand. I'm left-handed, so I've got it in my right hand.
I like the way you say non-needle hand there, because, yeah, if you've got lefties or righties, yeah,
exactly.
Right, there is.
And you want to hold it this way, and take your needle, sort of position it parallel to the thread if you're holding it, and then you want to wind it around the needle, up and over.
OK.
So I tend to go around twice. You can go around a different number of times. And once you've got it wound around, you want to give it a little tug.
OK.
And then stick it back in the fabric just a millimetre away from where you were.
And through personal experience, it's not through the same hole because it disappears.
Exactly. Just a millimetre away. And then when your needle's sort of halfway through, this is the important bit, is just give it a tug like that.
OK.
Just so you've kind of got the tension there.
Yes.
And that should keep the knot nice and tight when you pull it the rest of the way through.
Perfect.
Sorted.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So come up and then you just wrap it round.
Wrap it twice. You can wrap it once or 3 times. That just sort of changes the size of the knot slightly. But I
And
tend
are
to do
you
it
working
twice.
with two, I should have asked that about the threads. You're using it with two kind of threads at the same time?
Yes, yeah, 2 at a time. And it comes with a size 7 needle, which is a nice
Good
size
one
for
to
the
work
2
with.
threads, yeah.
Fabulous. I'm going to leave you stitching away if that's okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to draw attention to the fabulous kits that Sammy has brought to us. Sammy's a new supplier here at Hochanda, and she's brought her fabulous company to bring us these wonderful, wonderful kits, and they're absolutely amazing. Paraffle is the name, and I love it. Such an unusual name, and that kind of stems from the Scot for embroidery, I think it was, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. So there you go. You're based in Edinburgh. Lovely lady. We've met her already, but have a look at these. You have got a lovely set of 3, and these are the 3 that she's working. Well, she's not didn't do all 3 of them. We've only got an hour after all. But this is a set of 3. Now, with the kits, she makes sure you've got everything that you could possibly need, bar your scissors, to get started. Now, many of us have got scissors already, but if you fancy a decorative pair, do check out those ones that I just showed you as well. So this is a series of 3 sunsets, sunrises. It's up to you. You can decide with that gorgeous kind of mountainous landscape, as you can see there, and these beautiful, almost mandala style elements that you can see with regards to these gorgeous colours. £49.99 will get you the set of 3. And what you've got within this kit, similarly with the other kits, but I'll explain in a few moments, is you've got 2 hoops per design. So with this particular one, actually, sorry, I stand corrected, you've got a working hoop, just 1 working hoop within this set. With the others, you will have a working hoop as well as your decorative. But of course, you can't stitch 3 at the same time. You only need 1 of those, don't you? So you've got 1 of those working hoops, but then you've got 3 of your decorative hoops that have got this gorgeous little kind of display clasp on the top there, which means you can display those in a multitude of different ways. Obviously, you've got your threads, you've got your pattern, you've got the backing felt as well. So when you come to stitch on the back and cover up all those stitching elements that you've got, you can see you've got that lovely result there that you're popping on the back to keep everything neat and tidy. And it all comes boxed, ready to go, with your booklet, which will explain every one of those stitches that Sammy has been sharing with us. Kind of got a glossary of 10 different stitches, which you're going to use across all the designs. So yeah, nice easy stitches to kind of get your teeth stuck into, even if you are the most novice of sewers. So 398144 is the item number. 2 flexi buys are £25 each if you're fancying those. Now, if you fancy magnifying those stitches as you work, as I know many of us do like to do, well, we have got a lovely magnifying kind of stand. Is that the right phrase? It actually doesn't stand on anything. It sits across your chest area, your upper chest area, and means that you've got your hands free yet again, and you've got a little LED light in there as well. So if you are stitching and you need a little bit of extra light, then this will bring it for you. It's only £10.97. That's a good price for that one. Like that. That's useful for many different tile crafts as well. Now, these are a little bit different because you can see they're smaller, but they're going to kind of grip onto different areas. So it could be that you're putting it onto the edge of your hoop, I'm guessing. It could be the table. Lots of different work with those, but you've got 2 of those. £12.99. Again, very affordable. Nice little stocking filler, those. Like the idea. First time I've used stocking filler as a phrase this year. There you go. It will come again, I am sure. So what have we got here? Well, we have got a fabulous array of beautiful embroideries to share with you. These are gorgeous. You can see we've got something fresh and different about these designs. Very much traditional embroidery. So the type of stitches that we're familiar with, so things like your back stitch, your French knots, your daisies, all of those are featuring within here. But of course, it gives them a fresh look because we're working with those lovely designs that Sammy has brought to us. This one being the first, very popular one, is the whale. And each one of the kits is similar to the kind of setup of this kit. Incidentally, if you like the look of this design, half of the stock has gone, so please don't be too slow in placing your order. Absolutely beautiful design, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, when it comes to it, you'll have your 2 hoops, and this is the same for each one of the options. You'll have your working hoop, which obviously has got that screw at the top there for you loosening and tightening up your work. Then you've got your display hoop, so when you've completed it, then all you need to do is basically display it just as the one that we've got here. Now, of course, you're going to need your fabric, which is included within the kit there. So you've got that gorgeous dark fabric, which I think is quite refreshing with regards to embroidery. And don't those stitches look dramatic when they're on that dark backdrop. Your felt is there for covering the back of your design when you've completed it. And, of course, more than enough thread to keep you going. You're also going to have your thread, a size 7 thread that's going to come alongside your carbon paper that you're going to use to transfer over that design. I'll show you the design in a few moments. But this is your comprehensive stitching guide that you are going to get with all the elements elements that you need there. Teaching you things like your back stitch, you've got satin stitch there, chain stitch, whip stitch, French knot that we call Sammy was just taking us through a few moments ago. All of those in there. This is really good quality guys. You're going to be able to keep that for many, many years to come. Also, you have got your template. Now your template, this will vary dependent on the kit. This one obviously is the one for the whale. You've got your full colour imagery there. Love the size of this as well, because you can really get in there and see those stitches. Then of course you can see, obviously you've got your full instructions, which Sandy's going to take you through. You've got your stitch guide, which I think is ingenious because it shows you the different stitches there. Shows you the colours as well, so you can see the blue area, the white area that you're going to be working with. And of course that little kind of gauge at the bottom there, giving you all the different stitches that you need. And of course the template that you are going to trace out on your fabric. I say fabric, you could be tracing it out onto a tote bag, onto a jacket, a shirt, whole host of different ways that you could work with those. And everything comes beautifully packaged in a little box as well. So if you're looking at giving it as a gift, absolutely perfect. Or if you're looking at stitching it and giving it as a gift, I mean, that would sit beautifully. Let me just take the wrapper off that, because you could even use that box if you were giving it as a gift, open it up and pop it back in there with a little bit of tissue paper or something like that. Isn't that a beautiful way for you to actually present that to somebody as well? And you could even make a little tag out of the card that you've got there, isn't it? You can put all sorts of goodies in there alongside it. There's plenty of room there, but there you go. So if you fancy getting a hold of this one, that's 464885 is the item number. You have got 4 different options under that same item number, so I'm going to tempt you with some of the others, which I know you've been loving. Now the elephant, I have to say, I think the elephant is my favourite, and I think it's because there's so many colours featuring in this one. I mean, all the designs are beautiful, but I do love the colours that you've got in here. You've got that kind of burnt orange in there, those rich purples there, gorgeous deep cerise pink in there as well, lovely kind of indigo colours. A beautiful design, I'm sure you agree, and doesn't it look amazing? I bet you could you add in little seed beads to these as well if you wanted to?
Absolutely, yeah, it'd be a lovely little bit of sparkle to add, wouldn't it?
Kind of give it your own little twist, because I know as crafters quite often we do like to put a little bit of our own personality into these elements. So there you go. Could imagine stitching this, maybe using that fabric as a panel on a bag perhaps. I mean, we've got them displayed in the hoop, but lovely quality fabric that you've got here. So we could use this as an applique once it's been completed on another larger project.
Absolutely
Beautiful. Or of course trace out the design straight away onto something. Could go onto a cushion, but you wouldn't let people actually use that cushion, would you, when you've got a display like a design like this on there. But that one is your elephant, so if you fancy that one there, very, very busy for the elephant. I'm not surprised. Do like the elephant. Nice one, like that one. Now the next one, if you like your blues and your teals, this is going to be the one for you. And a little bit of sparkle as well. Majestic peacock, I mean, absolutely beautiful design, and look at that tail. I mean, a tail like that is just crying out for that paisley, isn't it, really?
It's perfect, isn't it? The feather shapes and everything.
I love it. Beautiful. And of course, the design shows how all those little kind of swirls of your paisley come together to create that gorgeous feather look that you can see there as well. Isn't it gorgeous? Now we've got certain areas that kind of like are coloured in with stitches. Are those satin stitches?
Satin stitch, that's the one.
Oh, it's kind of dramatic look, isn't it, with those? Gorgeous. £21.49 again, same item number. This one is your peacock. If you fancy getting hold of that one, that is the option you need to choose when you check out your basket. You may well be ordering on the phone as well. So yeah, again, you can still order all 4 of them on the phone when you speak to our call operators if you want to. Final one that we've got here, and I love this. It's got it's kind of a contemporary look, but with a kind of vintage feel. If there is such a thing, I don't know, but
yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's the sort of colours are a bit more dusky than the other ones. Maybe that's
like that pop of white from the blossom as well.
Yeah, that's our daisy stitches in there.
Beautiful. Our director's thinking it's got a bit of a Japanese vibe to it as well, and I think, yeah, could be right with that.
I like that, yeah.
Beautiful. £21.49, 464885. That is your 4th option that you've got. So just to recap, the same item details on your screen will get you either your orange tree, your peacock, your elephant, or perhaps that whale. But if you are looking to get the whale, be quick. As I say, 50% of the stock has gone off that one, and many of the others are flying out as well. So it's very early in the morning for you to be with us, so it's good to have your company. Now, if you're thinking of stitching for Christmas, then this set is going to be for you. And this is a lovely one. We've been busy for this one. Lots of you have been liking this one. And what was that update, sorry? My goodness, 40% of the stock. That one kind of snuck in without any updates. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous design? And I love that satin stitch again there, kind of showing those almost like, they could be mistletoe berries. They could be little tiny snowballs.
Yeah, just a sort of pop of colour for the berries.
Isn't it? Is it gorgeous? I love it. The daisy there as well. Loads of stitches. So will all 10 stitches appear in this one again?
Yes, yeah, it's the same stitches again.
It's almost like an I Spy of stitches then, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're cooking them off. But what a fabulous way of learning if you're wanting to learn embroidery. And some of these designs, I mean, they look very kind of elaborate and complicated, these designs, but even the most novice of stitchers can stitch with these?
Yeah, 100% aimed at beginners. So it's the same stitches. I think it is just they're sort of arranged in a way that looks a bit more complicated, but they're absolutely not once you get into it.
And you started embroidery when you were a child, so could perhaps a child, I mean, we always say adult supervision, obviously, when you're crafting with children, but are these the type that you could perhaps be teaching a child to embroider?
You could be, yeah. It'd be great to sort of lay down the basics when they're young.
Lovely memory project as well, isn't it, if you're creating something with a younger person. But again, everything is included, even those fabulous jingle bells that you can see and hear. Absolutely beautiful. £22.49 and 886099. One thing that I'm noticing as we're going along the counters here, the packaging, we've not got any plastic and elements like that within here. Is that, I'm guessing that's important to you because it's not there.
Yes, yeah. So I used to use plastic hoops in the kits, and then it was over lockdown when crafting sort of exploded and we started running really low. And I thought it was just time to sort of ditch all the plastic, become much more environmentally friendly.
Love that.
So yeah, everything we use, there's no plastic in there, and we offset all of our carbon as well.
Oh, I see.
So every delivery that we send out, we work with a charity who reforests parts of the Amazon and African rainforests.
Love it. There you go. So you know that you're kind of doing your little bit with these, aren't you? Definitely. So there you go. That's your Christmas set if you want in your Christmas wreath. 886099. But of course, Sammy has been teaching us how to stitch using that trio that we've been chatting about. Now, this little trio comes with 3 display hoops. So with regards to these ones, you've got your 3 different designs, which of course the 3 hoops included allow you to display them. You've got your felt, you've got your fabric, you've got all the threads that you need. You've also got your worker hoop as well, which means that you're going to be able to create beautifully, and of course you're going to have your templates with these. So 398144, £49.99 price on this one, but of course you can spread the cost over 2 payments, which means that anything else you fancy adding in, then you can do and spread the cost of those items as well. Don't forget those kind of fundamental things like your hoop, your seat frame that we've been looking at that's going to hold the hoop. I mean, your hands are free. Those gorgeous scissors that we saw as you check out, and if you do need a magnifier, we've got those that you can add into your basket as well. So do have a little look before you check out those orders. But the hoop stand is at the bottom, and that's what you will see Sammy working with. And we're going to head back over to Sammy now. So, new fabric, what are we up to this time?
New fabric, so I thought we could start on a chain stitch instead.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. Again, this is used in all of them. I'm using a thread colour that's in the sunset and in the elephant as well.
Oh, lovely.
And I think chain stitch is great. It's good for making areas pop. It sort of adds that bit of texture because it's sort of lying over the top.
And it's quite a deep stitch, isn't it? It's got a lot of kind of raised area to it.
Yes.
Is that the right phrase?
Yeah, so I've put some of it in the elephant, some of it in the wreath as well, just to sort of make the leafy bits stand out.
Lovely.
But chain stitch, I tend to do it backwards. In my stitch guide, I sort of teach a reverse one just because I think it's easier.
Okay,
and I think it's great for people to learn it that way.
Well, that's it. It sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So what do we need to do to get started?
So with this one, I've come up just in the middle of my fabric, so it would be on the line wherever you're stitching, and then I just do a tiny stitch, maybe a millimetre or so, a really tiny stitch, and then you want to come up a stitch length away, maybe half a centimetre, maybe a centimetre.
Okay.
You pop up there, and then you find the tiny stitch from before and just tuck your needle underneath.
Oh, right, okay.
And pass it through that way. And once you've got it through, you just go back in the same hole that you came up with.
Okay.
And so then that's your first link in the chain.
That reminds me a little bit of the daisy that we saw a few moments ago.
Exactly,
kind of
yes.
Back to front, though.
Back to front, yeah. And it's just sort of linking together all of the chains. Then you come up again, stitch length away, and then just pass it through the previous stitch underneath that one. So then all the threads sort of lying on the top of the fabric, creating the texture that you want, making it stand out. and then back in through the same hole again.
And it's nice because, as you say, it's kind of a strong stitch, an outline stitch. I've just noticed it in the whale as well.
Yes, yeah, the whale belly.
Yeah, really showing off those designs. And there you go, you can see on the whale, you've got kind of those chains working the way across the tummy of the whale there. Again, you can see it within the paisley, and it's almost... when we're using things like pens, we might go over 2 or 3 times to really show that kind of detail, but obviously the stitch is doing for on this occasion, and that chain stitch is a really good one to do that. So there you go, chain stitch is what we're learning at the moment if you're just joining us. So the chain stitch has been used around the belly there, and then also within these parameters of the paisley as well. Sorry, I jumped right to the top there, but you can see it's just around the outline there. It's where you've almost got that thicker look. You can see those chevrons almost appearing within inside the paisley, and that gorgeous daisley, but it's kind of the outline stitch that's been used. Actually, that one isn't one there, but yeah, that larger piece there, you can see.
Yeah, it's a great one to use on sort of curved bits as well. It creates a really smooth effect when you're working.
Nice fluid feel to it, yeah. Really good point of it there. And you can see that. Gosh, that's coming together quickly. That didn't take hardly any time at all.
Yeah, yeah. Easiest way to do chain stitch. I wouldn't do any other way.
That's a good tip. Good tip, that one. Gorgeous colour threads as well. And with the threads, I mean, does it take you a lot of time to kind of work out which colour threads are going to work with which kits, or the feel that you're going with the kits?
It depends. Sometimes I just sort of go into the haberdashery shop and just kind of stare at the thread for a bit and then just pick out ones that I absolutely love.
To you.
Yeah. And then other times I just sort of go for my favourites, the turquoise and the peacock.
Yes.
I use it all the time. I love it.
I love it. There you go, you can see all those little chain stitches coming together. Just to let you know, Sammy, we have got about 12 minutes left for you, at the show. I told you to go quick, didn't I? Sammy's not back with us today. This is the only hour that you've got with us. Now, Sammy, obviously you're showing us these wonderful stitches, but if anybody gets their kit home, they suddenly go into a bit of a panic and they need a bit of a Sammy fix.
Yeah.
Can they find you on social media?
Yes, yeah, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram.
Wonderful.
And I've got a YouTube channel as well, where it has videos of me doing each stitch.
Perfect.
So if you're more of if you can learn better through videos rather than pictures, you can look me up on YouTube.
There you go. Fabulous, and of course, do look out for that name, Paraffle, which is obviously the company name with regards to this one. 4 options with regard to the kits that we've been chatting about. So the design that Sammy's working on has got that lovely little chain stitch in there. She's kind of doing a reverse chain stitch, but it still looks the same when you've done that overall look, and you're going to get that featuring within the whale. So around the edge of those paisleys, the belly of the whale there as well, you can see is featuring on there. But of course, Sammy was working with the threads from the elephant. So I'm going to drop the elephant in so as you can see there, because again, it does feature within that particular design. So you can see that paisley, again, it's almost like that outline stitch that you can see there on the elephant. You will find it again featuring within the peacock. So again, the main body of the peacock there, it's kind of reinforces it and really making that dramatic look. And again, with the orange tree, you'll notice it as the kind of not the stem, it's the what's that bit of a tree? Am I right? The trunk. That's the word.
Still early.
I meant to say stalk, but of course with a tree, it's bigger, isn't it? So it is the trunk. I don't know why, I just couldn't find that word. But I've got lots of words, but not the right one. But there you go. So there you go. Of course, you've got that fabulous chain stitch. It appears here as well. Love it. This one is your Christmas wreath set, and again you can see that gorgeous chain stitch around those paisley elements there. Now this kit is going to have everything that you need. You're going to have your worker hoop, you can have your display hoop, your fabric, your felt to go on the back, all the threads that you need, and those fabulous jingle bells that you can hear there as well. £22.49, but half the stock of this one has gone as well, so 886099. Now we've got a little bit of time left, so I'm going to go back over to Sammy. About 10 minutes, so what would you like to show us next?
I think perhaps a satin stitch.
Lovely. Now that's the one that we saw that was filling in an area.
Yes.
Like a colouring in stitch.
Yeah, so the sort of berries on the wreath, little details on the elephant and the peacock. And I think it's a great way of sort of making the thread colours really pop out as well. It kind of gets the shine on them, you know?
Now, I've worked with satin stitch embroidery before, but what I tended to find was it kind of pulled the fabric in. Where am I going wrong?
I think you're pulling too tight while you go.
Oh, OK, right.
So you need the fabric.
Sit and watch then.
Exactly, yeah. So you need the fabric sort of really, really tight as you go.
OK.
And you don't want to yank it too much.
Lovely.
So let's say I wanted to make a rectangle of satin stitch.
Lovely.
You sort of come up and make a line directly across the shape. And the whole premise of satin stitch is just that everything needs to be parallel to each other, and that's what creates a lovely shine.
Lovely.
But rather than doing them all next to each other, I tend to sort of create a few guide stitches maybe.
Oh,
I tend to sort of space them out.
Oh, right. Okay,
So
this is interesting, right?
Yeah, so if you sort of take a few guide stitches that are parallel to each other, you can sort of create the outline of a shape.
And I suppose as well, this is kind of helps you keep on track with it, so you don't end up with too many stitches at one end and not the other.
Yes, yeah, and
Right.
it just keeps you perfectly in line. And then you just need to fill in the gaps with your really long stitches. It's great. So then I try to sort of, if I'm going across like this, parallel, and coming down this side, I try to bring the needle back up on the same side of the shape.
Okay, why?
So that sort of, it stops you crisscrossing over the back.
Ah, okay.
And so it
right.
uses a lot less thread, and then it stops it being too heavy and stops
That's a
it
good
pulling
point.
too
I
much.
didn't think about the thread, but yeah, because you're doing that smaller stitch, aren't you, I suppose?
Yeah, so then the back of it does tend to look, I'll try and flip over to the back of it if it's not too messy. And the back of the stitch,
Oh, yes,
It's
because of
just
course on the
tiny.
other side you've got those big connective stitches, but you
Yeah.
haven't on the back. Ah, okay. Clever. Nice, I like that one. And that's a kind of a filling in stitch. And we said, oh, there you go, on the elephant. So it's featuring on the elephant there. So as you can see here, those kind of coloured in areas of the paisley featuring there, as you can see. Now, we didn't have it on, oh yeah, I've got it on the peacock as well. On the peacock, you've kind of got little elements. Now, the peacock kit, this one's proving to be very popular. You've got actually metallic threads within here as well. And you can see those kind of colouring in stitches there, the satin stitch featuring with regards to those. Can you give me any tips with regards to the gold thread, Sammy, at all?
oh, it is a tough one to work with. It likes to sort of splay out a bit. So I always say work with shorter lengths of it, because then you're much less likely to tangle it up, and it keeps the shine on it nicely then when you're using shorter lengths of it.
And of course we were talking about the berries on the Christmas wreath one that's proving to be very popular. Again, that satin stitch featuring there, and like you say, just covers, and that's quite, I mean, you have a look, you've got your white thread there covering your red fabric, but it covers it, you can't see the fabric coming through.
Yeah, and it's just the stitches lying next to each other, and you can sort of smooth it out with your finger if you want to kind of get it all properly in line.
I love it. Now we've got loads of stitches. It's not a test, just out of interest. With these stitches, now we've looked at the daisies, we've looked at the fabulous chain stitch, and obviously the satin stitch. Yeah. What's this stitch here that's been done with the metallic thread again?
It's really just a back stitch.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
simple back stitch, just in a sort of different pattern.
And I'm guessing, I'm kind of playing I Spy with the stitch now. So over here, is that a back stitch as well that's been used there for the leaves?
That one is, yeah. So with the back stitch, I sometimes alter the length of the stitch, because then when you're sort of going around the curves and the corners, you can use shorter stitches just to sort of round out any angles that pop
and
up.
I've noticed that with the kind of the stem there, you've got quite a long piece there, because I'm guessing you can get away with that, really. Why do any more stitches than you need to? Let's face it. Again, French knots, we learned about French knots there, and I love this because with the metallic thread, it almost looks like a little seed bead in there.
Yes, yeah. And there's some stem stitch in there as well. I think on the outside of some of the shapes there's stem stitch just to create a sort of
now the stem
sort of floral
stitch,
feel.
I can't see it from this angle here. Let me have a little look if I can see. Now there's a stem stitch, isn't it? That one there. So it's kind of halfway between your back stitch and your chain stitch, I'm guessing, isn't it, with regards to the weight of the effect?
Yes, yeah. It just sort of overlaps slightly and just creates that extra bit of texture that makes it a bit more interesting.
Right, so you can see the chain stitch sitting within the centre there. So overall, you are learning so much about embroidery in just one simple project. Absolutely incredible. Every single one of those kits that we've been chatting about comes with your stitching guide, and this is the key thing. Now, this set that we've got on the screen for you is obviously your Christmas one that I've just looked at a few moments ago, but we're just going to very quickly have another little look at the embroidery sets that we've got, where you've got choices of 4. The reason being is we don't have an awful lot of time left, and it is a very popular way for you to get hold of these. So every single kit that you're going for, you are going to get that same guide. One thing I'd say is if you're going for multiples of these and you're perhaps keeping the kits for yourself, gift that to somebody, because I think that's a lovely idea for somebody maybe to learn a little bit about embroidery, because there's loads of information in there. With or without a template, they're going to learn from that guide. Obviously, the first choice that we were showing you with this particular set is the whale. And in the whale, you're going to be learning all those different stitches, really, that we've been looking at. You can see they've got a bit of satin stitch that we were just learning. A few little French knots in there, a few little daisies. And, of course, what was the other one that we were learning? Was it the chain stitch? Yeah, the chain stitches there. They're all featured in within there as well. French knots we featured as well. Yeah, all coming together. Nice simple design. You've got two different colours. That's all that you've got within here. But isn't that an effective look? Absolutely beautiful. And I love that gorgeous kind of paisley look. Now, the whale we were telling you about is over 50% of the stock being chased by an elephant. You don't often say that in a sentence, do you? There was a whale being chased by an elephant. In this one, half the stock has gone as well, and this is the one that we saw Sammy working on with all of those gorgeous earth tone kind of colours that we've got within there. And don't forget, you've got your peacock with regards to this one, and of course that gorgeous orange tree. So how are you getting on with your stitches over there, Sammy?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, so I've created this this block of satin stitch here. So you can see, yeah, it's so simple, just sort of filling in those parallel lines. It creates such a lovely shine. They're the DMC threads as well, so they've always got the lovely shade.
Well, this is a thing that we didn't actually speak of, the actual threads themselves. I mean, DMC, it's a brand that we know and love with regards to embroidery skeins. And like you say, it's the quality that you need, isn't it, to get those results, and that is the key thing.
Yeah, and if you wanted to create the pattern again later, you'd be able to easily get hold of all the same thread colours as well.
This is it. You're very generous though with the threads that you've got in here, so I'm guessing that there's plenty for the project that you're working with, maybe a little bit towards the next project.
Yeah, some towards the next project, some to practice with if you're if you want to go before.
Of course, you've got the bag just to the side of you, so if you've got any threads that are left over, why not use it in a project like the bag? Can you show us the bag again, because I think this is absolutely beautiful.
So this one, I think you might be looking a little bit battered because I use them all of the time. So this is the whale here. So exactly the same pattern that I've popped on the bag, just a cotton tote bag. And then on the inside, I've just attached some black interfacing as well.
Oh, just to protect it?
Yeah, just to protect it. It sort of keeps the stitches in. So I wear this all the time, and they haven't even tugged or anything yet.
No, I love it. I mean, it shows. I mean, every single one of those stitches coming together there. Beautiful design. And I love the idea, like I say, going onto a denim shirt or onto the tote bag. I mean, that looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have a denim jacket that I'm desperate to put in.
Now, of course, the whale that you've got there is one of those 4 options. One that's also proved very, very popular within the show is the Christmas wreath as well. Now, 60% of the stock has gone. I know many of you perhaps just joining us for the first time this hour. Where have you been? We've had a lovely hour and you've missed it all. Well, you haven't technically. You can go back and watch on Rewind. But what we've been chatting about are these wonderful kits. Now, these kits brought to you by Sammy and Paraffle Embroidery come beautifully boxed, so whether you're giving it as a gift or whether you're going to make up the project and pass it on, you've got the box there to send it in. But then you have got all the elements that you need. You'll get 2 hoops, you'll get a working hoop and a decorative hoop to display your piece in. All the threads, all the fabric that you need, even your carbon paper to transfer your design over. If you are going for the Christmas one, you'll have the bells in there. And every single kit comes with your stitching guide. So even if it's the first time that you've ever embroidered, then you don't have to worry. Sammy's going to take you hand in hand and teach you how to stitch from that very first stitch. Sammy, have you enjoyed yourself?
I've loved it. Thank you very much.
Did it go quickly?
It was, I can't believe it's finished already. It feels like 5 minutes.
Well, this is it, and this is the thing that we said right at the beginning, that when you get started with these shows, especially when it's your first show, not that you would think it from Sammy. I mean, she's been amazing, hasn't she? And yeah, looking forward to seeing Sammy here again. So, of course, Sammy's been working with the kits. She's also been using some of those tools as well. The hoop frame, I keep going to call it the hoop holder. The hoop stand, that's an even better phrase. That has been a popular one during this hour because, of course, it means you can stitch with your hands free. And, of course, you've got those additional things that you can check out when you come to check out your order. Sammy, thank you. You've been inspirational.
Thank you.
I love it. Makes me want to get my threads out and have another little stitch. So if you fancy placing your order, you've still got time. Do keep an eye out in the schedule. I'm sure we will see Sammy back very, very soon. The key thing is some of those you need to be quick for. Check out those baskets. I'll see you a bit later. I will indeed, because I'm going to be back with you with a Craft Yourself Silly show. But before then, we have got Clarity One Day Special with the lovely Paola. Looking forward to that one. I think we've got Paul demonstrating on that one. Then a bit of material magic with Paola later.
Hi, I'm Alice from Alice Stitchy Fingers. I've been sewing most of my life. I absolutely love sewing. I've been with the Hochanda now from the very beginning, really. That's when I started to go there. The Hochanda family are lovely people to work with, and I'm really enjoying my time with them. Designing is a big part of the journey for me as well. I love going out and finding the fabrics to use in the projects and bringing them to you. I love the designing process from start to finish, and then the finished project is just the icing on the cake. So make sure you don't miss out. Come and sew with me on Hochanda.
Have you heard of Hochanda Freedom? Did you know that as a Hochanda Freedom member, you could be making savings on every order you place? For just £5.97 a month, you will benefit from selected Freedom member discounts and complimentary standard delivery on every order you place. You will also receive our exclusive Hochanda Freedom members badge, regular newsletters, giveaways and crafty updates. If you shop with Hochanda more than twice a month, then Freedom is for you. Don't forget, your Freedom membership is flexible, so you can pause it if you're going away, or you can cancel it at any time. So what are you waiting for? Give us a call or head to the website, quoting item number 88888 and join Hochanda Freedom today.
Hi, I'm Anna and I'm a founder of Craftbox UK. Craftbox is a box full of craft supplies that we send to our customers monthly. All products are placed in a beautiful, sturdy box, which is ribbon tied, and we hope that by receiving this box, you will feel like it's Christmas every month. Make sure you don't miss the Craftbox shows on Hochanda.
Hello, my name's Kay from Indigo Blue, and we've been established for 7 years, and together with my husband Alfie, we design and manufacture our own in-house red rubber stamps. We also have our own range of paints, lushes and stencils. We're so proud that we've now got a reputation for such high quality products and the detail that we can manage to get in our stamps. What I really love about Hochanda is I get to demonstrate lots of different techniques for you to understand how to use our products and hopefully inspire you. I've got loads of fantastic ideas buzzing around in my head, so I can't wait to get those filtered into our products and out to you at home. So grab a cup of tea, join me and the team from Indigo Blue on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Joe from the Mill Shop Online. Welcome to the Mill Shop Online. As you can see, we're a lot of fabric here. We're very passionate about our fabrics. We're one of the largest online sellers in the UK of fabrics for upholstery, soft furnishings, and now the lovely craft market. Coming up in the future with Hochanda, the Mill Shop Online are going to bring lots more collections of beautiful fabrics, all inspired for you crafters, for your upholsterers, soft furnishings, everything for every project. All our designs for Hochanda, all our crafting elements, always very unique and very exclusive for Hochanda. Whether you're starting out with fabric or an experienced sewer, we love to bring projects that every ability can really have a go at. So don't miss the Mill Shop Online shows on Hochanda.
Good morning. We have got, of course, the one day special, and it is a beautiful, serene, incredible one day special from Groovy. It is a brand new collection of A5 square plates and by Tina Cox. Tina is an amazing designer. It's a designer of Parchment. She has got years of experience, but also I love her back to basics, back to kind of the simplicity, the mindfulness, the meditation that mandalas bring. Now there is so much more that you can do with this, not just the whole elements, but you have got also the borders. You have got the perfect borders. Now they're basically pairs, but in which you get actually 8 borders per plate, so you're getting so many borders in here, and those beautiful words like meditation, reflection, fortune, luck, devotion, faith. A bit different, a bit special, as of course we have got a very special guest, our lovely Paul Church is joining us through Skype. Hello, good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Paula. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm feeling, always when I see the mandalas, I always feel very serene, and these ones are such a delicate, intricate, groovy plates. It's an incredible collection.
It is. I mean, Tina designed them as stamps originally, which Barbara launched a couple of months ago. And we just thought that they'd be perfect in Groovy. And when you look at them, there's so many different layers to them. And these are the most detailed Groovy plates we've ever done. To get all that detail onto an acrylic plate is absolutely astounding. But don't be overwhelmed when you look at them and think, oh wow, it's too much, because I'm going to show you how you can break it down really simply, and they're just so elegant. In what you're getting is loads and loads of different frames, basically.
Indeed, and I'm showing you a couple of samples because the design team, as always, have done an amazing, stunning work. The way that everything coordinates, so we can mix and match within all the plates, can we not?
Absolutely. So you've got the 4 main focal mandalas, and when we turned them into Groovy, Barb said, you know what? She said these would be great if we could have like a square frame so that it complements the actual mandala design itself. So the lovely girls in the office, Lucy and Lisa, they got to work, and what they did was they took elements from all the different mandalas and straightened them out to give you these beautiful corners. So you can use them to create frames, you can have it as a border going down the edge of the card, top and tail. I mean, again, when you look at this one here, absolutely gorgeous. So you can see you've got the main mandala circle, but then you've got the coordinating frame around the outside.
And of course, you can bring a little bit of the, well, a little bit or a lot of the traditional parchment, like peacock cutting within those mandalas, like this sample that I'm showing here.
Absolutely. So again, it depends what level you're at with on your groovy journey, so to speak. But don't think, when we look at all these beautiful samples from the design team, these ladies have been doing it for a long time now. So they've perfected their picot cutting. But if you love the designs, then you could just use our picot circles to create the circle itself, and you haven't got to do any cutting whatsoever. They're so clever.
And of course, I absolutely adore this sample. I'm gonna share, of course, Jane Telford's. I adore with of course, that kind of colored parchment that you do so well, and that patchwork of the different elements. This could be good for a beginner, couldn't it? Because then they can trim off what bits they don't want.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the great things about the Groovy system, Paula, as you know, is that you can pick and choose the different elements. I mean, we can just go to my overhead, just so I can just explain and just show you. So if we look here, this is the devotion plate, and you can see how, if you was to trace it out, the detail you have on here. So if I bring that in on this camera here, you can really see how much detail is on there. But there's so many different layers to it. You can sort of just pick and choose. Then in addition to that, you've then got the beautiful, the corners as well. So if I bring in this one here, you can see where we've got this outer frame here, we've now got the beautiful straight border as well. But the great thing is that you can dissect it and you can break it down into so many different shapes and layers. So again, when we look at the plate, you can see this outer one here is that one there. Okay, so you become, and then the next one in. And this is just a few of the samples that you can sort of do and pick out from it. And then we go smaller. I mean, I love this. It's like a beautiful starburst. This one again, let me bring this, I love this one. This sort of one here is absolutely gorgeous. You could take away the outer part and you've got another different layer as well. So it's all about sort of looking at the design and sort of breaking it down. If I did what I've done here, let me just show you. Let me just pop these out of the bag. So I've used our Pico circle dies, which we've got on the show, where you just cut out your Pico circle and then you just take the design element. So that's the one I've chosen from there. And then this one here is a combination of the inner part of this one and then the next layer up on the actual plate itself. So again, if I lay this, where's that one gone? There, it's hiding under here. See, then if I lay that on top, you can see how that's sort of made up from there. Let me bring that in on that camera there so you can sort of see. See, so you can see then how, and if you've got the coloured parchment as well, and you do this in all different layers. This was a card that I did in the 8 o'clock show last night, and it really complements all the different coloured parchments as well. So really, that was just sort of to break it very, very simply, and it just sort of really breaks it down and shows the versatility and the number of frames you're going to get in that complete collection.
It is incredibly beautiful and also incredibly busy. Now, we have to tell you that, of course, we are on extended delivery because it did sell out last night. So it will be dispatched from the 28th, I think, of October. So in 6 days or 7 days time. Now, if you wanted, you still have got that amazing saving of £14, which basically is, it's almost like you're not paying for one of the pairs. One of the pairs would be £15.99, I believe. So you are basically paying just £1.99 for one of those pairs in there. Now, you have got also a FlexiBuy option. You have got the interest-free payments option of paying just £24.96 today. And of course, if you are a Freedom member, you don't pay P&P. Now, we are over half the stock of the extended delivery. If you want yours, please do check out your baskets. 141095 is your item number for the one day special. Look at all those borders, 8 borders per plate. So you are getting 4 of those ones. So that is 32 borders. You are getting, of course, 8 beautiful words strength in there in those borders. Then you are getting the arch ones as well on the plate. So you're getting a further 4 words in there. So 12 words there. Now, they are words perfect for mindful exercises. Maybe you want to do those kind of gratitude lists. Maybe you are doing the sort of exercises in and of course, the beautiful thing is that this would make beautiful decorations for the tree as well. Think about this and putting some ribbon behind it and hang it up to the tree. And of course, look at the different colors that you can bring in, the delicate nature. I think this is like real snowflakes. Each of them completely unique. The way that you can incorporate the borders and then the mandalas as a quarter. It's also, I kind of want to put a clock hand in as well into here, because that could then be like a really beautiful clock. Can you imagine that? How delicate. Think about it for decoration boxes, but also don't think that you always have to use the mandalas. You can use the border, the words on their own, and words like courage, strength, reflection, meditation, luck. They are words that, of course, bring, I think it's good to meditate on it. It's good to kind of bring them to the forefront of our lives. 141095 is the item number for the one day special. And of course, we want to see Paul demonstrating. So let's join Paul through Skype for the first demonstration.
Thanks, Paola. I thought what we'll do, we'll just recap on sort of the actual designs, and just to show how we've broken them down into sort of individual frames. So this will just give you an idea of what you can achieve from it. If you're new to Groovy and you're thinking, I really can't do it, you really, really can. As long as you can hold a pen, then you can use the Groovy system. It really is as simple as that. So when we look at the one, we're just looking at the devotion. So again, this is the plate. So we've just already looked at this one here and how it's been broken down into the various different sections. And this is just a few ideas that you can do with it. So if I then bring in the meditation plate, again, you've got the beautiful plate here. So that I missed a few bits out when I was tracing it out. I got carried away. But again, you can sort of see, and we'll bring that down a bit. So you can see we've got the outer frame. We've got, I love this one here. Let me bring this one in on this camera because the detail on this one is absolutely gorgeous. I think the meditation's one of my favourite ones out of the collection. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then we'll go back and you can see here, we've got they get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you can pick and choose all the different elements. So if we then move on to strength, so here, where's my strength gone? There it is, there's the strength. So again, you've got this beautiful design here, and then if I break that down, again, you can see, if I bring that plate in, so you've got the beautiful outer frame. I love this particular one. This is quite, it reminds me of quite tribal in design, but isn't that as gorgeous as just a beautiful frame? And you can combine it with all the other plates that you've got as well. So again, we'll go back on the overhead and you can sort of see some of the combinations that you can come with. You can make little flowers. So that was strength. And then we have luck. So let me bring the luck plates in. So again, this is beautiful. It's sort of really spiky, this one. And again, you've got the outer part, and it gets smaller, and it gets smaller and smaller. So there is so many different frames, and this is just a few that we've come up with just by tracing it out. And as you trace it out, you'll find different areas, and you'll think, oh, I like this, I like that. You can go with whatever you want. And again, you don't have to use the whole design. So if you wanted to use the corners of it, some of the samples there, I mean, the one that we looked at last night, if I bring this one in, let me just deconstruct this one. This was in the 8 o'clock show. So this was, go to the overhead. So there we go. So you can see here, we've used it in the corners as little photo corners. So the artwork is actually underneath it. And let me bring this in here so we can see. I mean, look at that. To me, with the mandalas, this is really where the coloured parchment comes into play. Because by doing the matting and layering, you can get some beautiful, beautiful colour combinations.
Now, I have a question, Paul, because it's like, that looks incredibly complicated and difficult. How difficult really is for a beginner to achieve something like that?
It's not difficult at all. It really, I'm not just saying it. When you look at the plates, you think, oh, there's too much on there. And let's say you look at the samples that the design team have produced. But I'm going to, in this hour, I'm going to sort of just break it down and show alternatives. So if you're just starting out on the Groovy journey, you really can achieve the same sort of results. The only difference will be is that you don't have to do the picot cutting. Let me explain. So when we look at this one here that Karen did for me, so this is the design completely picot cut out, okay? So again, it's a simple shape that if you wanted to, you could use scissors to just cut around the outside edge as well. But again, if you're not good with scissors, then if you take the nested circle picot dies, you'll notice that this design will fit perfectly within that area. So there's no cutting required whatsoever. So even if you've just got on the Groovy train, then you could definitely achieve something like this and still get a beautiful result without any of the picot cutting. It really is. I'm not just saying it because I've been tracing these plates out again and again and again. And I didn't do any cutting out for the display boards, for doing the circles. and it's just holding a pen. It really is.
It is holding a pen now. Of course, if you want to get a one-day special, well, it did sell out last night. It is back on extended, but 60% of the stock already gone of that restock. So please do check out your basket soon if you want to experience the joy of Groovy. Now let's join Paul through Skype for the demo.
Thanks, Paola. One of the other things about these beautiful designs is that obviously you can use them as they come, as the beautiful mandalas. But again, as we said, they're beautiful frames as well. So if you've got any of your other Groovy plates, then this is just a great feature to go around the outside of it. So at the beginning of September, we launched the beautiful Pergamino Parchment poppets. Licensed artwork, absolutely gorgeous. And if I just show you, I've got some that I've sort of die cut out already using the Pico circles. But look at that, just in the middle. It just creates that beautiful, elegant frame. And in the 6 o'clock show, Barbara showed how if you wanted to, rather than die cut the topper, you could actually, the way in which the parchment's designed for the poppets, let me just bring my folder in just to show you, because we've got these on the show. You'll see that they're in 3 different sizes, okay? So it means you've got this large area around the outside, so that what you can do is you can have a look at your poppet. So let's take this one out. This is Pia. So we'll take her out of the folder, and let me just explain what I mean by that. Oops, pop that to one side. So for example, if I take Pia, and let's take let's have a look at Strength, where we've traced out the different circles. See, I can take her, and she would fit perfectly in there, but she'd also go in there, and then what you would do, oops, bring that forward so you can see. See, so you can bring the design around her. So the reason we put the 3 different sizes on there was so that it gave you that space around the outside. We could have filled this completely with loads of the same design in different sizes, but then what it means is you're restricted on what you can do with it. Absolutely. I mean, look at her, she looks gorgeous in there as well.
That's gorgeous.
So when you look at the designs, and you can go, right, okay, well, she'll fit in there, she'll fit in there, that one possibly go in there, and you don't have to use all of the design. You can build the frame around it as if she's sitting on top of the frame. So these were really, really popular. I know we've got them on the show as well, and we've got a special price on this. So if you're thinking, I want to keep it simple, I'm not into I want to sort of create beautiful frames and beautiful artwork, then what you can do, if you add the poppets into your basket, pop your poppets in the basket, then what you can do, you've got these beautiful plates as well, and you've got instant artwork. You really, really have.
Of course, the details for the parchment poppets are on the left-hand side of the screen. You have got that £13 saving, £59.96 is the price. You can see that comes with the folder as well, perfectly to keep them there. And of course, you have got a flexi buy option as well to spread the cost into interest-free payments of £29.98. And that folder, I think, is phenomenal because you can keep them all pristine and nice there. 641236 is your item number. And let's head back to Paul for more inspiration via Skype.
Thanks, Paola. So when we're looking at the designs you're going to get, you've got those 4 beautiful solid mandalas, and then you've got the magic of those beautiful borders with the corners. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how you can create a frame, a square frame, using those, and it's really, really simple. So I did a couple last night just to sort of show the couple of different sizes. So you can go really, really big. So this would go on an 8x8 card, but then you can also go smaller as well. But this is just using 3 of the lines that are on that plate. So just to create 3 different frames. So let me show you how that works. Right, first of all, I need my plate mate that comes with the starter kit. I've got all my Groovy tabs on there. Okay, and the Groovy plate holds the plates from the one day special. It has an A5 square aperture in the middle. So if I take, let's have a look at luck, for example, and we just pop that into there. Now, all of the plates are laser etched to a specific depth, which means is that you're going to get a beautiful crisp impression every single time. So I'm just going to attach my plate to the plate mate just to keep it in place. Okay, and also on the show, if you're going to go large with your frame, then we've got the A4 parchment on as well. And what I tend to do is I always line it up to a right angle with the edge of that plate, because if I start in the top left corner, I can do the frame any size that I want to. Okay. So for those of the customers at home that have bought Josie's duet grids, you know, like the kings and the queens, where we've got the perforations and the embossing.
Yeah.
It's the same principle in order to be able to create the frame. So, for example, I know one because I'm going to go to a different one. I like this little one. So I'm going to spin that round. See, and you've got 8 different frames on here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you've got more because you can do exactly the same and break down the design how you want to. So if I attach this back on there, okay. So say for example, I've got my piece of artwork, and we'll just go say like for this circle one, and I want to pop a square frame around the outside. I can use this as a guide to see how big my design needs to be. So for example, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that will give me a really nice size. So if I take my tumble dry sheet and we wipe that over, and what that does, it allows the tool to glide more easily within the grooves. Now, I'm not going to trace it all out because what I want to do is just create my frame first. So I'm going to push into the groove and let the tool do the work. Sorry, Paola.
The groovy guard?
Yeah, I'm using the groovy guard. My hands are quite warm this morning, and as you know, we have like natural oils on our hands, so I don't want to sort of mark the parchment. But the groovy guard also holds it and gives you that focus to work on as well. Absolutely. So the guard comes with the in the accessories kit where you get the groovy tabs as well. So we said we're going to go 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do, I've got choices. I could put my groovy guard there so I don't get carried away and go further, or I can start from this end and go round and go that way. So because I know once I get in the groove, I really get carried away because I don't need to think about what I'm doing, so to speak. See, and then we're going to come down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up, and we're going to turn it round and line it up. So again, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that you'll find what will happen is it goes back into the groove. Okay, so we'll just get that lined up. I can feel that's in place. Okay, so again, it's the same principle as if you was using, so for all those lovely customers at home that have previously bought Josie's duet grids to create the beautiful frames, then it's the same basis as that. Okay?
Yeah, and it's a simple process that allows you a lot of versatility in sizes and of course the styles of finishing those corners.
Absolutely, and because the girls in the office, because Barb said we could do borders, but one of the hardest things is to actually go round the corner. So they work their magic so that it takes all the thinking away from it. So then we're going to spin that round again, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I know where to line that back up. So that then slots back in. Just make sure we're in the right place. There we go, I need my glasses. And then we'll follow this through. But you can see already how it's starting to take shape, can't you, Paola? So we're just going to follow that through. And if you get any resistance from the tool whilst you're tracing out, then just take your tumble dry sheet and just give it another little wipe.
The tumble dry sheet, does it come with the groovy guards and the starter kit?
It comes in the starter kit. So in the starter kit, you've got literally, it does what it says on the packet. You've got everything to get going. So you've got the A5 square plate mate, which I'm working with. You've got the black mat, which is hard on one side and soft on the other. You get 20 sheets of A5 parchment. You get 4 beautiful design plates, and the one at the bottom that's got the little tags on it, that's what we call a groovy inset. So where we do our little A6 square groovy plates, then that acts as a collar to work within there. You get the tumble dry sheet, you also get the 2 double-ended tools, which you need to get going, and you get a beautiful illustrated double-sided project sheet created by the lovely Tina Cox.
Perfect.
Okay, so if you're looking for a hobby, I mean, the clocks are about to change this weekend, aren't they? So it's going to be all dark and horrible outside, and you can just stay home, stay safe, and craft. And it's clean, there's no mess, and it's I think this is quite apt to have these sort of spiritual mandalas on the show, especially in the current climate at the moment as well. Very relaxing.
It is.
So you can go in, follow the design, and once I'm happy that I've got my frame, just like that, okay, so we can pop that out there. My little topper fits in there perfectly, okay, and then all I need to do, I could leave it exactly like that. I could cut out with a pair of scissors, a normal pair, I could picot cut, I could just trim that down or use our nested squares we have on the show. But if I want to, I can now go back in and fill that frame. But again, you have those choices. So this is where you get the plates and you look at them and you just trace them out. And as you trace them out, you really will find different bits and pieces.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for showing that, because it shows how if you can hold a pen, you can do groovy. You can do the incredibly simple designs, but beautiful, stunning, because the groovy plates give you that stunning designs designed by Tina Cox. You can see here, for instance, imagine maybe you start with the smaller circle, maybe the next day you do the outer one. The fact out of the matter is that parchment used to be kind of a very intricate, elaborate, years to master technique, yet now with groovy makes it so easy. I adore the kind of label over the top, the translucentness of the parchment, and you can see through it gently. It's kind of making lace out of parchment, isn't it? It's creating that kind of beautiful detail. I adore the tribal kind of nature of this one, the crisscross, the hatch in there. What about here in this one? And what about doing a parchment of the different elements, creating those gorgeous flowers in here with the white work? I adore this. I adore the words as well. I adore the way that you can incorporate maybe glitter. This could be a Christmas card as well. It could be decorations for the home. It could be, of course, cards that you frame for life, and then you have them displaying beautifully at home. Now, of course, remember all the techniques, the traditional techniques of picot cutting, you can incorporate them in these plates. The fact that they are incredibly ornate doesn't mean that you have to do incredibly ornate plates. It's giving you the freedom to choose, to be your own designer, whether you want to incorporate colors, creating mandalas kind of reminiscent of the Tibetan colors in here, maybe doing half, like kind of a quarter of them. Look at that. I love how the designer, which is, I think it's Carol, you can see in here that she has designed that first and then put the other ones. Now, of course, you can see in here the borders as well. Now, over 60% of the extended delivery stock, that means that it has sold out once already. If you do not want to miss out, do check out your baskets. Remember, you have got a £14 saving. Now, in terms of how much a £14 saving is, basically a pair of them, so a mandala and a border, are £15.99. 98, sorry. If you wanted to go for them, the details at the bottom of the screen. However, basically, if you go for the one-day special, you are just paying £1.98 for one of these spares. Now, they are beautiful, 4 mandalas with the matching art words, but then you have got the borders. You are getting 8 borders in each of them. You can see in here, you can extend them. You have got the strength, courage, meditation, reflection. You have got luck, fortune, devotion, and faith, and those words you can incorporate in any of those creations. Think about as well of the groovy plays that you have got, you know, and think about incorporating those words as well, or maybe using some of the other words that you have got in these phenomenal mandalas. £49.92 is what you are paying plus PMP if you are not a Freedom member. Remember, you have got FlexiBuy option to, of course, to spread the cost in interest-free payments with still that saving of £14. Right, let's head back to Paul through a Skype for another demonstration.
Thanks, Paula. I mean, as you say, when you break them down and you look at all those different elements, I mean, when we say the border and frames plate, there's 8 on there. That's a minimum of 8 because you can really break that down as well, just as you can with the normal mandala. And again, you've got that flexibility. You could just put it down the edge of the card. You don't have to create a frame. And that, for me, is one of the great things with the Groovy system, is that you have that flexibility of being able to take whatever elements you want and sort of just bring it out. And it's so, so easy. An embossing tool, the plates, a piece of parchment, and that is it. And I will say, though, it's very, very addictive because you get into that groove, you get into that zone. And for me, it's sort of like a chill out area sort of thing. So if you look at the plate and you think, you don't want to think about what's going on outside or what's going on in your head, you don't need to do any thinking. You can just work in the grooves and you just totally, for me personally, I just zone out. All different things could be going on around me. The cat could be chasing a mouse around the kitchen. I wouldn't be none the wiser because I'm engrossed in what I'm doing. So I thought what we'd do now is we'd have a look at this one that the lovely Jane Telford has put together. So Jane's created a beautiful square frame and then done sort of like some partial art, as Barbara calls it, into the corner and just taken one tiny element in the middle. Another card that Jane's done, again, using the plates, there's no sign of a mandala at all. All of this has been built using the plates from the one-day special. You've got that funky little frame around the outside. You can build flower. I mean, that is so clever to create the little bumblebee. And the bumblebee is just taken from the elements. Let me just bring the plate in just to show you. It's from Devotion, and it's just taken that little element there to create the leaves and the wings on the little bumblebee.
And as well the body, isn't it? The other one, the other side is the body of the...
Yes.
Oh, that's so clever.
I know. Magic, isn't it? It's amazing what you see in the designs. Let me just show you. I showed Yanis last night. There's one particular design. I want to see what you can see in this one, Paula. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one up. So when we look at this design here, around the outside, what do you see around the outside?
Well, I see 2 things. I see a flower, a dandelion, and I see an eye as well.
Right, okay. So for me, when I was tracing it out, I saw an octopus.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Or a little spider.
Oh,
a
yeah,
little spider.
Absolutely, yeah. I see a dandelion because it kind of see the, or echinacea type of flower with, you know, the petals are going downwards.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is. And on one of the other plates, when you get them home and you trace them out, there's a little man hiding in one of the plates. So if you get the plates home and you find it, then post it. Go to Groovy Worldwide on our Facebook page and let me know where you found the little man on the plates. It's amazing what the mind does, and because your head's clear from the tracing out, you just imagine and see little different things.
Absolutely.
Okay. So where do we start? So we've got this beautiful one here. It's got a gorgeous Amazonian backing paper in the background, and we're just going to bring it to life by taking elements of the design. So what we've done already is I've shown you how you can easily create the frame of any size. So this is just taking this one just to create the beautiful frame. Okay, so we've got that. We've used our Pico squares. Unfortunately, we're out of stock of the Pico square dies, but you can use our nested square dies. These would also work fantastically as well, because it just gives you that shape. So if you're not into your sort of cutting out, then the nested squares are great for doing that. You've got 11 different sizes on there as well, and they will work perfectly with all the frames that you create. So back to the plate mates. We're going to take our plate. So we're going to go with this plate here. So again, to have 4 plates like this in there is absolutely crazy. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to decide exactly what area I want to pick up. So for example, I may want to go for the larger one and choose an element. I may want to come in and do the next one. You can become the designer. I may want to do this one. So I'm going to do something different. So let's have a look. I'm going to line this up. So again, just turn your parchment until you see that it fits. And I'm going to go, we're going to go there. I'm just going to do this one just to show how you can get sort of like a different look from the different sizes. So I've attached it with my groovy tabs again. I'm going to give it a wipe with my tumble dry sheet. I'm going to take my groovy guard. How are we doing for time, Paola?
So we have got 12, how much? 17 minutes.
17 minutes, perfect. Okay. So then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to decide what elements I want to pick up. So if you don't want to trace out all of the design, then just go a little bit more slowly so that you don't jump out of the groove. See, and all of a sudden it starts to come to life.
Now, we have got a suggestion as well from our lovely Emily. She's like saying that she thinks that red and greens and golds would be really lovely for Christmas decorations.
They would. These would make fantastic decorations. You've actually got a sample hanging up in the studio from Karen Jackson. And she has Pico cut out several of them and turned them into a bauble. But again, if you've got the nested circle dies, you could do that. I mean, yeah, look at that. That is just...
It's beautiful.
A piece of art, isn't it?
And you could do it in different sizes. You could do it on all the different smaller and bigger elements as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You can choose the different areas that you want to. But isn't that gorgeous?
Absolutely.
Have that hanging up in a window and let the light shine through. Pure masterpiece, absolutely amazing.
It is indeed.
So what we're going to do, we can have a look and decide what elements we want to pick up. So again, you just go along and decide what you want to trace out. And it is, you really get into looking at the designs, and it's at this point here when you're tracing out that you really do see it come to life, and you can see the magic. Maybe if I come in over here, can we see that a little bit better? Yeah. Look at that. See, and then we can come in and it really does come to life. So we can go along here. Now if you want to do some white work in areas, then this is where you turn over to the number 2 tool, which has got a little ball on the end. And what that does is when I trace out the design, it doesn't go as far into the groove. So what that does is it gives me a softer outline. So if I want to do white work in these areas, then it helps, it assists with that. So sometimes if I'm working with a design, I'll go through and I'll do all my number 2 tracing out so that I don't get carried away and pick up the different areas. See, so we're just going to go through. See, and that follows through there. That comes back down there, and it all of a sudden it starts to all join up and just jump out. See, and you can go along. And my voice is slowing down now because I'm in the groove.
But that's the thing. I love your shows with Groovy because I get so relaxed and I get lost in just watching you. And I think that's an experience of the Groovy that has got that kind of, for many of us, we would find it mindful and relaxing.
Absolutely. And I mean, sort of another sort of very mindful aspect of crafting is colouring in. And Barbara does her Shack on Facebook Live on Mondays, Wednesdays and Friday at 10 o'clock. And it's all about sort of just chilling out with like-minded crafters at home, staying safe. This week she's colouring in some beautiful toucans. Next week I think there's some doodling. And it's all about just getting in that zone, not worrying about what's going on, and just spending time just crafting. It's very, very, for me, this is very achievable. Yeah. You could have a child of 5 years old using this system.
It is.
And they get an instant result. And when you see the look on the face, that when they turn it over, and they've created something so beautiful and so elegant. So if I turn this over now, you can see how it's just starting to come to life.
Gorgeous. I love that. I love the corners. Now, Paul, I need to interrupt you just a second to tell everybody that 70% of the restock has already gone. Now, if you want it, please do check out your baskets. It's the one that is special. It did sell out earlier. Now, 70% of that restock dispatch date from the 28th of October. Now, if you want it, please do check out your baskets. Also, while I'm here, I wanted to remind you of these amazing stamps. We weren't going to show you, but you know what? You are loving them. So we want to remind you of this amazing set. Now, these beautiful stamps are going to be demonstrated at 12 by Barbara herself. And of course, remember, these are the Tina's Spiritual Mandalas A5 square stamp set. Now, you are getting 16 stamps in total, but look at that saving. It's £30 saving. You are paying less than that. You are paying £29.96, which means it's better than half price. Basically, you are getting 2 for nothing. 2 stamp sets, beautiful clarity designs for nothing. I need to show you this sample because, of course, it is my favorite. Look at the detail. Look at that. Look at the beautiful stamping onto red and to black embossing powder. Now, they are the same designs of the mandalas, but, of course, stamping gives you a beautiful, different effect. And, of course, you can do it in a slightly different ways. Now, if you want to go for this stamp set, of course, 60% of the stock has already gone. Remember that they were launched August this year, and they are now back on the stock, but with that amazing saving, better than half price. 263-394 is your item number. And with that, we are going to rejoin Paul through Skype for the last demo of this hour. You have got 12 minutes, Paul.
12 minutes, okay, thanks, Pat. When you look at those stamps, this is where it all started with Tina. Tina, such a fantastic illustrator where she created those. But the detail on them, and when you look at those samples, you know yourself, Paula, as a stamper, if you was to stamp and then use embossing powders, sometimes you can really lose the detail of it in the design. But because these are so deeply etched and so ultra fine, and the quality of the stamps, you don't lose that detail. There was a beautiful gold one that Yanis showed off in the 8 o'clock show last night. There we go. I mean, look at that. You can see all that detail has been picked up and retained, which, as you know, it can be really difficult, especially with such a large stamp as well. So for me, as the stamps, and again, the partial art, absolutely gorgeous.
It is beautiful. It is indeed very beautiful. Now, if you want to check out your baskets, please do so, because otherwise you might miss out on these gorgeous stamps or on the one-day special. Remember, it's better than half price for the stamps. So basically, you are getting 2 sets for nothing. You're just paying for 2 of those sets. Right, let's rejoin Paul through Skype for the last bit of the yes hour.
Thanks, Paola. So what we've done now, we've jumped ahead and we've traced out our design. Let's just move this out of the way. So we've traced out the design, we've built up our picture, and we've taken elements that we can then do some white work in if we want to. Let me just bring that round on this one here so we can sort of see. So you can see here at the top where we've got a lighter colourway. It's not as prominent. So that means that when we want to do some white work, then it blends in to get a beautiful finish. So this one here has already been started. So let's do a little bit of white work on here. So I'm going to bring in one of my other best friends in the parchment world, and it's my pink mat.
Of course.
The Platemate is number 1 best friend, and the pink mat is my number 2 best friend. And what it does is it gives me more control when I'm working and doing white work. So what we're going to do, let me go to this camera here. I'm using my groovy guard to lean on, and what it also does, because it's got these apertures in there, it allows me to focus on areas. It also protects the work as well. And then I'm using the number 4 tool. So we've also got the Pergamano tools on the show as well. That goes from 6mm all the way down. And all we're going to do is just slowly, this is where sort of the skill starts to come into play, just to learn to get that pressure. But I'm not too worried because I've got my best friend, the pink mat, in play. See, and then we're just going to go along, and it's just gentle. It's like sort of striking a match, or another way of looking at it, it's like an aeroplane taking off. So what it does, it comes down the runway, and then it lifts off the runway. And that's what you want to do with the parchment. You're just gently stroking it. See, and it just starts to, if I turn this over, you'll see how it starts to, see how it's starting to go whiter?
Yeah.
And then what you're going to do, you would let that rest, and then you would come back, say, in half an hour. And then in the circles, what we're going to do, with a circle, I remember when I first started, you thought, oh, I'll just go round and round and round and round to turn it white. But what happens is it creates a little black dot in the middle. So what you do is you go up and down, left and right, and then round and round. Up and down, left and right, and round and round. And that stops you getting a little black dot in the middle. So I've now gone to the number 3 to concentrate in the smaller areas. And I'm just going to repeat that process. See? And you just go along, up and down, round and round. So when we turn that over, you can see now how that's starting to come together.
Perfect. Now, for Paul, can I ask you a couple of questions about the starter kit? Do you think that is, for a beginner or for an advanced person, would it make sense to go for the starter kit?
The starter kit covers all level of parchment craft. It really does, because for me, the starter kit is the basis of the system. So even if you've got all the Pergamano tools, there's nothing wrong in having an extra set of tools. The plates that you get in there are beautifully designed. You've got the nested squares, you've got the beautiful landscape and hills, and you've got the Platemate as well, so it will hold the large number of plates that we bring to Hochanda. You've got that beautiful alphabet on there as well, for allow for personalisation. So even if you've been doing parchment craft for years and years and years, it is a good starting point. And if you're brand new and you're thinking, I want to give it a go, let's go for the starter kit, because you've got everything in there to get going. You've got your parchment, the tools, the tumble dryer sheet, the black mat, and it really is, and Tina guides you through 2 step-by-step projects to show you what you can recreate using exactly what's in that kit, with just some colouring pencils and some colouring pens. That's all you would need.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for sharing that information about the deluxe starter kit. Of course, you have got the flexi-buy option to spread the cost in interest-free payments, so you are only pay £27.50 plus BNP if you are not a Freedom member today. Now, of course, let's head back to Paul through Skype. We have got about 5 minutes left.
Super duper. Okay, so I've shown you a little bit of white work. So I thought next what we'll do, we'll add a little bit of colour if you want to. Now, we do a range of designer parchment and coloured parchment. We've got a beautiful pack of 26 assorted colours on the show as well. So if you're not into your colouring in and you think, oh, there's a lot of the samples we saw, the different colourways to build up those layers, you can go for the coloured parchment and it gives that beautiful effect with no work whatsoever. It's easy. But if you've got pencils and you want to add a little bit of colour, I'll just give you a few sort of tips and tricks to work with those. So I'm working on my black mat, and I'm going to bring in, let's just say I've got a red and a blue. So these are the Pergoline pencils we've got on the show. And in there, you get what we call a B pencil that has white writing on, B for basic or B for blendable. And then you've also got your watercolour pencils as well. So you can use these for your everyday crafting as well. And in the offer we've got on at the moment, you also get a blending pen. And that was a real game changer for me, with my colouring in. So say, for example, I want to put some colour in, but I want to do, say, let's have a look. Let's put some colour in here. So all I'm going to do, I'm not putting any pressure on with my colouring in. I'm just going on very, very lightly, okay? And I'm just going to go in and just put some in there. And then if, say, I want to put some in the border, I'm just going to scribble along. And I'm not worried about the white lines because we're working on the back, okay? And it's going to remain white when we turn it over.
Okay.
So then we've got some colour on there. Now, if I put this onto a white piece of paper, it will look, this is what my colouring used to look like when I first started. It looks scratchy, it looks horrible, it looks as if a 2-year-old has coloured it in. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think you are being a little bit too harsh on yourself.
No, seriously, you can't see this, what it looks like. It is terrible. It really is. But again, I thought that when you was colouring in on parchment, you had to colour in heavy. And it wasn't until watching the experts like Linda and Tina and Josie and all the lovely people on the design team that I picked up the hints and tips. So I've got a spot-on sponge, and I'm going to put some lovely Dorso oil just on there. Okay. And what the Dorso oil is, it comes with the Dorso crayons, and it acts as like a blender, especially with a wax-based pencil. So I'm just going to dip into the oil. Now, I know from experience that little tap, there's way too much on there. So if I was to go in and start to blend the colour, what will happen is it will just lift that colour off. So I'm just going to get rid of some on the sponge. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to work in a circular motion. And can you see how the colour's starting to move, Paola? How it's starting to soften and move around? Yeah. And what that is, it's the oil breaking down the pigments of the pencil to get a beautiful finish. Okay, so, and then I can come into here and I can then just soften out those areas as well. Now we've also got a blending pen on there with refill nibs as well. Because this isn't just for parchment, you can use this on your colouring in books, on your postcards. They're just fantastic piece of equipment. So then when I turn this over now, we can see the difference. This is where I've started to blend, and this is my 2-year-old colouring in.
I can see the difference, yeah.
A real difference. And for me, that was really key on my colouring in, because as I said, I thought that when I started working with parchment, that you had to go in really heavy and you had to stay away from the lines, and all that does, you still get the scratchiness of it. But I can also go back on, even though we've blended out that colour, I can go back in and intensify the colour as well. Yeah. So you can sort of build up into layers and start to bring it all together.
Thank you so much for showing that, Paul. Of course, thank you so much for the demonstrations. We will see you at 4 o'clock, or we are seeing Barbara at 12, aren't we?
I believe so, yes. I think the plans may have changed during the live hour, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see you then. Of course, thank you so much for the demonstrations, as inspirational as always. Thank you so much. And I need to tell you, everybody, that of course 3/4 of the stock of the one-day special has already gone. Now, if you want to get that saving of £14, if you want to get the beautiful mandalas from Tina Cox, brand new yesterday launch here at Hochanda with the borders. Each of those plates have got, beautiful 8 borders with just 2 words. So imagine having all of them at your disposal to create the most beautiful, intricate ruby plates with parchment and beautiful creations for everyone to create and create. Craft yourself silly after the break with MDF, then Material Magic at 10 and Prickly Pears at 11.
Hi, I'm Gina Barrett from Gina B Silkworks. We're a family company specializing in traditional crafts for the modern maker. Most of our products involve textiles and age-old techniques, from button making, lace making, weaving, and other forms of passementerie. Mark and I work hard designing the kits and developing innovative tools to make all of these traditional crafts more accessible to the modern user. We're really pleased to be part of the Hochanda family, and I'm looking forward to being able to take time and demonstrate some of these techniques and share new ideas. I hope you'll be able to tune in to the Gina B Silkworks shows here on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Sarah. And I'm Vicky. We are the Stamping Sisters from Stamp Addicts. We'd started our family-run business in 1992 when we were importing rubber stamps from the USA.
But now we design and manufacture them all here in-house in our shop in Bedfordshire.
We make grey rubber stamps and we make them as deeply etched as we possibly can so that you can use them in many different ways.
On our shows on Hochanda, we like to give you lots of different techniques to use with the stamps, different ways that they can be used and ideas.
We hope that we can inspire you to get out your stamps and have a play. Look at all the different designs we've got. We've got Christmas, we've got scenic, we've got cute and furry. There's something for everyone.
Make sure you don't miss the Stamp Addict shows
on Hochanda.
Did you know you can watch Hochanda 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free using our app on Roku? Just like your smartphone accesses an app store to add new applications, your Roku streaming player or Roku TV accesses the Roku channel store to add new channels. By downloading the Hochanda channel, you'll be able to access your favourite craft channel on your TV anytime you want to watch. Here's how to do it. Turn on your TV and connect your Roku device. Next, turn the power on and press the home button on your Roku remote. Scroll up or down to select settings. Select your network and select Setup Connection. Roku uses a wireless connection, so select your router name and add your password. This should be on the side or the bottom of your router. If this is the first time using Roku, then you'll need to set up an account on the device or by going to the Roku website. That's it. Now it's time to add the Hochanda app. Simply press the home button on the Roku remote. Scroll up or down using the arrows on your remote to select streaming channels. Then open the channel store. At the top of the channel store, you'll find a list of featured, new and popular categories to explore. Enter Hochanda into the search bar and this will take you to the Hochanda app. Now simply select Add Channel. When you see the added channel screen, press OK and return to the home page. Now scroll down to the Hochanda app and press the star button on your remote. You can then use the arrow buttons to move Hochanda to the top of the screen for quick and easy access. And that's it! You can now watch, purchase and catch up with your favourite shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on your TV whenever you feel crafty.
Hi, I'm Pete from Artisan Design. We're a family-run company from the Midlands and we have been going for around about a year now. We design handcrafted stamps, stencils and designer papers. Personally, I love crafts, and I've loved crafts from childhood, right from when I first won an art competition when I was 5 years old. I love to inspire, and what my aim is to get the crafters to see their own potential. I like them to be in charge of their own creativity. What I hope is that our images provide the kickstart to your mojo and help you create your own works of art. Tune into Hochanda, be part of the artisan design world, and come and join me on this creative path.
Hello there and welcome. We've got an amazing hour ahead of us. We are talking Craft Yourself Silly, and we have got loads of fabulous MDF to share with you during this hour. So we are going to get truly creative. I've got fabulous guests to help us with that creativity. The lovely Jo. How are you doing?
Good morning, Hayley. I'm good, thank you.
I'm loving the mermaid hair. Looks fabulous.
I had a recolour. I didn't put quite enough blue in this time, but I'll know for next time.
I love it. Now, of course, I've got Craft Yourself Silly, MDF, and you love working with Craft Yourself Silly.
I do indeed, yeah. They're bringing us some really useful MDF this time around, and then some nice bits for the festive season. I can't mention the word because I'm allergic to it.
It's at this time of year. It's too early, isn't it? Still too early. But now I'm going to let you get ready for your demo, Jo. I can see you're busy getting yourself prepped there. I've got plenty to keep you guys busy. Do jump ahead and have a little look on the website, though, if you do want to get ahead. And if you jump onto the website, you'll find all the goodies that we are chatting about. There's loads there. So whether you're looking for your larger pieces, your smaller pieces, if you want something a bit of all sorts, you can see you've got that lovely mixed media pack there. Alphabets, we've got uppercase and lowercase. You're choosing your letters with regards to those. We've got some amazing boxes which you saw Jo working with. Beautiful handmade papers. These have got brilliant value price to them. £14.97. You're getting 72 12 by 12 sheets. You're saving £21 with regards to those, and you've got a choice of colours all on the same item number. So that means you can go for multiples with no additional post and packing. I love those black and white there. Amazing. The paints as well. Have you seen these? These heritage chalk paints are absolutely amazing if you're liking that kind of traditional, maybe vintage look, but then we have got all sorts of wonderful colours for you to choose from besides those. So yeah, it's a lovely place to shop, the website, so don't be afraid. Have a little delve, have a little dip around, and you'll find all sorts. Now, what can I tell you about to start with? Well, we're going to start off with your basics, because this is the key thing, isn't it? The fundamentals are to have that base element. Now, of course, when we talk about MDF, we talk a lot about things like your home decor and your mixed media, but have you thought about actually applying your MDF bases to your card bases? Because you can do that quite easily, and that's the beauty with MDF. I mean, it's sturdy, but at the same time it's not overly heavy.
Absolutely, and it's nice to see. I thought that this time I'd bring a few changes, because I think that a lot of us see MDF as something that is for mixed media, for throwing everything out. So I'm taking it back to basics with this, and I think it looks so effective. A lot of people use craft cards in their card making. Well, MDF works the same way if you want to colour on it and use pencil. So
absolutely,
that would be a bit of a different tack.
Definitely. Look, that's saving as well on your screen. They save you £18 with this bundle. Now, they've got a series of 2 different sizes. So you've got your 6x6s, which of course you saw there on your card. You've got 8 of those. Brilliant value for money, because they are coming alongside your 12x12. So if you are looking at kind of multi-layering these, of course you can do. But what a brilliant combination. You're getting 16 elements in there for just £14.80. That is one to stock up on. Now, you might want to go for multiples for the same kind of item that you've got there. It works out at less than £1 per piece. Brilliant value for money. So if you're wanting to get hold of yours, 779572. As I say, same item number, multiples by all means, please go for those. But you might want to mix up those sizes. So before you check out your basket, have a look at this next bundle. Traditional A4 and A5, so ones that we're very much familiar with. And again, these are perfect if you are looking at doing things like your mixed media boards. As you can see here, A4, lovely size to work with. You're actually getting 12 of your A4 pieces, and you're getting 8 of your A5 as well. So it's another £18 saving. Again, less than £15 for all of those elements. That is amazing value for money. And with MDF, because I'm thinking of book covers with these, making like your memory books, your albums. We can drill MDF, right? Yeah,
you can indeed. I would either wear a mask, which we've all got at the moment.
Oh yes, in abundance.
Obviously because it does create a little bit of dust. But yeah, you can drill into it. So it means that if you want to do something like a night scene, you can drill into it and pop your twinkly lights through it.
Of course, you have LED lights behind you.
Brilliant for doing journal covers if you want to make your own journals, and also really, really good for acrylic pours. I've done a few acrylic pours onto them, and it's cracking. It's really, really nice. It kind of allows your acrylic to move nicely, and we've got some really useful sizes on the shows today as well.
I love it as well. Now, of course, beauty is portrait or landscape. You've got options with regards to this. And, of course, you've got your A5, which is smaller pieces, but then you've got your A4, which, of course, is double the size of your A5. So there you go. If you fancy getting hold of that bundle, the details are there. 893303. Now, another size that you might want to go even larger. So this is a brilliant bundle. So this time you've got your A3, which is perfect if you wanted to do a really large kind of wall art kind of piece. And again, here you have got your A4. Now, looking at £14.86, you're getting 6 of your A3 and then 4 of your A4. So again, nice sizes.
Yeah, really, really good. I know lots of people at the moment are doing online workshops.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you need a good size substrate to work on. Those A3s are fantastic because they're just a manageable size, but they're big enough to have impact. So really, really great for your mixed media bits.
Definitely, and again, you can use them for all sorts of different things. I love this. I mean, this is beautiful. So 3mm MDF, which means it's got a nice kind of thick base to work on, and as you can see here, the side there, you've got a good kind of definition and depth to it, which means, of course, if you're wanting to do things like add things in, you can see where holes have been put in and where things have been threaded through and different ideas, that it will hold that, it'll cope with it.
Yeah, it does. It's nice and super strong, and like you say, you can drill through it, plait things through it, all kinds.
Love that. And there's a little kind of setter too. I mean, those look amazing, don't they, side by side? £14.86 if you fancy getting hold of those. Now, all 3 of those buns, brilliant for your bases, but then you're going to build up on your bases. What we've got from Craft Yourself today is a whole host of other elements. My teeth aren't working this morning. What's the matter with me? But loads of other elements, like the cartouches that we're sharing with you. $9.99, you are getting, now, let me think, this is, the cartouches are these kind of plaques, aren't they, I think? Yes. Okay, so you're getting 40 of those, 20 of your oval, and 20 of your kind of almost like a nameplate or banner element that you've got there. I love that, even the fine detail etched around the edge. You're getting 40 of those in total, and you're getting 2 of your A5 boards, so perfect basis to get started with. Looking at less than a tenner for these, Jo. These are good value.
I know, it's crazy. Craft Yourself Silly have done us proud on this one. But those cartouches are great if you're doing cards even, for stamping somebody's name onto or your sentiment onto, just a really nice added touch, and because it raises it off the card, it makes things more prominent, which is just a nice way to do things. And you can chuck paint at it, you can cover it with paper, do anything you like to make it match with the project that you're doing.
Love it, and very, very affordable. It's proven to be a very popular bundle as well. Lots of you taking advantage of that one. Not surprised at $9.99. It's worth getting hold of. Even if you haven't got a project in mind at the moment, it's useful to have it as what I call a just in case you need to put something, a sentiment or a plaque on a project, then you have got the right bundle there. 314846. Now, have a look at this for choices. My goodness, you have got a lot of choice. We've got a whole host of different letters that you can choose from. Now, we do have uppercase and lowercase available. Got lowercase on the screen because that's the one that we're looking at here, and you are going to pick any 8. Now, with regards to these, you can choose your letters. They could be repeats of the same number. So if you want to give somebody lots of hugs and kisses, you could have all your O's and your X's together, or maybe you're going to be making names up with regards to these. It could be spelling out a specific word. But if you do like to have that lead letter being an alphabet, it's always good, isn't it, with letters to have an alphabet. If you want it to be an uppercase, and at the bottom of your screen, you can indeed choose 8 of your uppercase as well. These are good sizes as well, aren't they?
They are lovely. They're real statement pieces. Home is one of the obvious words because you can get that twice in a bundle of 8. So.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
So if you've got somebody that's moving into a new home, decorate it up, make it match their potential decor for their new home.
Good point,
but great for in kids' bedrooms as well, along their walls with their names. Again, so many possibilities with these.
I'm thinking of all the different words now that made up of 4 letters or 8 letters. We could have an anagram hour. So if you're watching and you can think of an 8-letter word that you could be spelling out with your letters, keep it clean, then email in studio@hochanda.com. 80530. I'm just thinking Hayle. Well, I could do Hayley and then a couple of X's. There's kisses on the end. Counting out on my fingers as I'm saying it. There you go. So loads of opportunities with those. £13.92. That is very affordable. They're on the website, and here you go, you can see those uppercase ones alongside them. And these are going to be brilliant to work on the boxes that we've got Jo working with. Now these, you just add them into your box, click on that plus button, so whichever of those letters you're wanting to go for, or so we're going to go for H. I wonder what this could be. Could we be looking for maybe another H going in that basket? We've got to spell it out now. Have you counted the number of letters? Oh, never mind. But you know what? You could go for uppercase in a variety of letters and then use your lowercase as well, couldn't you? So, oh, there we go. Look at this. It worked. So there you go. Add those into your basket. Check your basket out. And as I say, the next item and the one beyond it, these fabulous boxes, perfect with those letters. Now, this is a fabulous bag of inspiration. Now, you know what you're getting within this one to a certain extent, because you are going to get a wavy box. And the wavy box, this is where it kind of gets the wave from. The side pieces that come together, obviously, where am I? I haven't got the right pieces together, but it will come together. So you've got the little kind of groove there that goes up and down. That's going to create your wave around your circumference of your box. And you've got your bases, obviously, that are going to work with those as well. So you're going to get those within here. You're also going to get an A4 artboard, which is kind of tucked away underneath there, but an A4 sheet there. So brilliant for you to work with. And then you are getting 1 kilogram of elements. Could be anything. We've got all sorts. What we've got in here, got some fabulous, almost like a porthole element here with holes around the edge. That could almost become a dream catcher, couldn't it? Because you've got little things like feathers in this particular bundle. You might get some of those. You might get some discs or squares or kind of offcuts. Some of them might be elements like these. They almost look like cookies. These don't look like gingerbread. It's literally, these will slot together. You've got your star. There's all sorts. Lovely box of all sorts of goodies. I kind of like boxes like this, Jo, because it gets your imagination going.
They do indeed. They're really good fun. And the other thing with these is you've got all different depths of MDF. So you'll have some 3mm bits in there, some 6mm bits in there. So if you're building up something that you want to have different layers and different levels, it's kind of already done for you. So
love it. All these lovely little bits in here. So contents will vary, but I'm just picking out just a few of the little elements. Almost got like a little lightning bolt there as well. So yeah, all these are in this little tub that we've popped into. Now obviously you'll get loads of fabulous little goodies for you to have an experiment and a play around with. And you're going to be able to create some amazing pieces for just £14.99. You are getting a lot of MDF for that. 241114 if you fancy getting a hold of it. Again, you can go for multiples. You will get those base elements that just spoke of, the wavy box and your A4 base, but everything else will vary, bits of all sorts. These are brilliant. These boxes, have a look at these. You're going to get all three. Amazing value for money. Details popping up on your screen, and I love these because they've got an actual working hinge with these as well, which means that you can see there the MDF elements will create the hinge, which we're going to learn about in a few moments. Means that you can create your box, but look at that, because you've got this fabulous base, you could be using these in a whole host of ways. This is the beautiful thing, isn't it, about MDF? They're perfect bases for all sorts.
they are, and these boxes, for anybody out there that does their fabric craft, having come from Hayley, obviously, these are the perfect size for storing your fat quarters in.
Clever idea.
So you can fit quite a lot of fat quarters in there. I also use mine at home. I'm a bit old-fashioned and I've got lots of CDs.
Oh, okay,
and I never know where to put them.
Yeah.
So these fit CD cases in perfectly, which also means if you keep your stamps in CD or DVD type cases,
good point,
they will fit in the box as well and keep everything really nicely stored.
There you go. Those letters as well. We've got the lowercase letters on the show, so these do fit on there quite nicely. Obviously, you could be spelling out somebody's name that if you wanted to. Yeah, so all sorts you could be putting into these, really. Isn't it? Thinking of storage boxes, memory boxes, bits and bobs boxes. It's a bit like, I think they used to call it the man drawer, where if anything that you found just lying around just ended up in the man drawer. And it'd be like, has anybody seen the pencil sharpener? Oh, it'll be in the drawer, And it's good to have somewhere just where you can tidy things away, put them in there, and then you know where they are. Now, these are brilliant Christmas Eve boxes as well, things like that. 10% of the stock has gone. You are going to get all three sizes. So you can see there, you have got your 16 by 12, you've got your 23 centimetres by I don't know what size, but you're getting all three. So you've got a 23, I'm guessing it's the width across, is it? Oh, I don't know. It's going to be base, because they're all the same width, but it's, can I just rotate that round? Then you'll see what I mean. So that's where you've got your difference there. Get there eventually. So 12, you've got 16, and you've got your 23. I think that's the way that it works, because the width of them is all exactly the same, and it's 30.8. So it's a little over your A4 sheets as well. So if you've actually got your papers, your cut-offs, you could actually do like a little filing system in there.
You can also, they're a really nice height when they're stacked up to have next to a bed as kind of like a bedside cabinet, but storage as well.
Yeah.
So really, really handy.
You could turn them into like little vintage trunks and things like that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, busy for these. 20% of the stock has gone. We better learn how to put these together, haven't we? So 373,156, £22.97, all three of those. Why not pop them into your basket? Now, as we head over to see what Joe is up to, have a look at these. Oh, now this is a good one. Bits of all sorts in here. You've got fabulous elements. So you've got your calico, you've got your organza, you've also got fusible webbing in there. You know what? You've already found this. You didn't need me to tell you about it. You've managed to find it yourself already. So you were having a good old delve in there and having a good old rummage. That is the beauty with this one. So yes, if you fancy getting hold of that, pop it into your basket. You're going to get 3 fat quarters of organza, a fat quarter of your fusible webbing, 2 flosses, those are your embroidery flosses, and 25 swatches of fabric. Nice mixture there, and you're going to get ½ metre of calico. So some of those elements, like your webbing, like your calico, the fact that you are getting your organza, those are kind of standards within there. Not necessarily exactly the same colours, but of course you can get some wonderful fabric swatches to play around with. £9.99, what a bargain. 260617. Now, something else we brought to you, and I mentioned these at the top of the ad. These have got a phenomenal saving. These are your handmade your handmade papers. Your handmade papers here, and they are 12 by 12, 72 sheets in total. You have got lots of choice with regards to these. £14.99 with a £21 saving. My goodness. 5 options with regards to these ones. You've got your black, you've got your multi, you've got your cream, natural, and then you've also got your red as well. And I'm going to go through this one that we've got here. I mean, Joe, these are brilliant.
These are absolutely superb papers, and with 72 sheets you can do so much. I can't believe the price that we've got them on at today. You've got some that have been embroidered into already, you've got loads of texture, all kinds, and we'll have a play later on and see all the different kind of mediums that you can throw at these papers.
Oh, look at the
sparkle.
But
you've got a really nice variety. I'd need all the packs because there's no way I could decide between one or the other, but you've got some that have got gilding on them.
Boss minute. I didn't really think this through, did I, when I was standing behind you? In my head, I'm 6 foot tall, you know. In my head, 6 foot tall. In reality, yeah, no. £14.97. You know it's value for money. 72 sheets in each one. Do you see the crackers down at the front here? These are brilliant. Just created from one sheet. You could be making 72 crackers with this bundle here. Or gift wrapping or gift bags. These are really useful, Joe.
Yeah, they're great. And I've used them to make little journal albums, and I've put all of the different papers into the journal albums because that's what we like. We like things that challenge us. And each paper will act in a different way with different mediums on it. So by putting a variety of different papers into your journal book, you're challenging yourself because you don't know quite how the papers are going to react to your different mediums, which makes it quite exciting. But like I say, we'll have a play with different mediums on a few of the different papers just to show you just how differently each one does react.
Wonderful. Now we're going to head over to see Joe in a few moments, but can I just show you something else? The Star Stacker. I'm frightened to pick these up. I don't want to do any damage. Have a look at these. Oh, there go the lights. There go the lights. Have a look. Have a look at these. These are brilliant, Joe.
They're really cute, aren't they? There's actually 24 points altogether if you count all the stars. So you could make this into an advent tree if you really wanted to. But again, nice little project to do with the kids. Lots and lots of scope. You could do little scenes. I've got visions of little kind of snowmen and people ice skating going round and round if you've got all the right dyes and things. So
I'm going to pop that down because I just don't trust myself any longer than the time I've been holding it. I'm going to bring in the other one. So you were talking about the different points. So the points for Advent. So you're talking about perhaps putting a little ornament or a number or a little sweet on each one of those.
Tiny numbered baubles maybe. Loads and loads of different things that you can do.
Love it, there you go. So you are going to get your MDF stacker. If you fancy the details are on the screen there, £12.99. And we've also got, what are these little bits that we've got behind? Oh, your baubles. Now, you've got all sorts with these. I think we might need to see these. Ooh, we've got a picture to show you, to be honest, because again, It's a lot of stuff for me to hold in one go. £9.99, 459 669. So with these, Jo, how do these come together? Do you know with these ones?
So I've got one over here that I'll show you how to assemble, just to make life easy.
Perfect. Well, let me show the lovely people the details on the screen. We'll come back to you in just a few moments for that. So here you go. This is what you're getting. Oh, I get it now. I understand. Now, if you fancy getting hold of these, details are on your screen there. £9.99. Pop them into your basket. Check your baskets out. And do keep checking those baskets out, folks. We are very, very busy. We've got some brilliant prices and lots of you taking advantage of them. So if you fancy baubles, £9.99, 459 669. So, Jo, we're going to come over to you. What are you going to show us first?
Really, really simple bits first, just a little bit of assemblage.
Okay.
With the boxes, as Hayley said, these have got quite an intricate hinge on them, which is really, really nice because it's something a bit different to what we normally get. For each of the boxes, you'll get six of these size pieces of hinge, and 4 of these. Now these look like musical notes to me.
They do, don't they?
Yeah,
it's easy to
really
differentiate,
cute.
yeah.
So for each hinge, you need 3 of the smaller ones and 2 of the larger ones.
Okay.
And you'll also find when you get your pack delivered, you've got these teeny tiny little circles. They're really important because they're what create the hinge and the movement.
So they are meant to be there, they're not just kind of leftovers.
Yeah, don't throw these away.
Okay.
So all that you need to do to assemble the hinge, the first thing is to take one of the more simple key-shaped ones, tiny blob of glue on each side, and you put your circle either side. And just make sure that you've got it kind of central. I don't know if you can see that. So one on each side. Let this dry. Don't continue with the assembly of your hinge until these are totally dried, because what you don't want is for when you put the side pieces on, for them to stick, because obviously if you've got a hinge on your box, you're going to want it to open.
You want it to be a working hinge, don't you? And I've got one of the boxes here, rapidly approaching 60% of the stock has gone. So you can see that hinge there that Jo's working on at the moment. It is an actual working hinge, which means that obviously you can open and close your boxes. We've got 3 different sizes. Now the width of the boxes is going to be exactly the same, 30.8 centimetres, but the width that you've got here, or the depth of your box, this is going to vary. So this one is the narrowest at 12 centimetres. You've got one that's slightly larger at 16, and then you've got one that's much wider at 23, but you are getting all 3 of those. £22.97 is your price with regards to these. Of course, Jo is showing us how to complete the one that is 12 inches across, sorry, 12 centimetres across. There's 2 left on the counter there because I've got the 3rd one here, but it just gives you an idea of what you're going to get, and of course all the elements that Jo's working with.
Right, so next steps, once this piece has got the little circles either side dried, and I've got mine wonky, but it'll be fine for the purposes of this exercise. What I do is I put my side pieces in first. So when you assemble your box, on the back and the lid, you'll have holes. Those holes correspond with the little lugs on your hinges. Okay. So what I do is I firstly put in, and I would recommend doing all of this assembly before you start your decorating.
Okay.
So I put the 2 little hinges either side without the circles attached. Okay, glue them in, let that dry, and then these hinges, so the ones, is it a quaver?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. Crotchets and quavers is about all I remember out of music.
I was in the group that played the triangle, so I never really got to know.
Right, so next thing that you do is the bits that are angled, that have got the right angle piece at the top, pop one on either side of the circles, and these are the bits that are going to move. Now I've got to be a bit careful because obviously my glue's still wet.
And this is, when you're at home, you've got the luxury of just taking your time and not having to show everybody.
Yeah, and then all that you do is pop this piece into the centre.
Oh, okay, yeah. In the middle bit, yeah.
Let's just get a bit of a fiddle, purely because I've not got it glued enough. But once it's located in the centre, what you'll see, let's take this one off and just show you with one hinge look.
Okay.
You'll see that this hinge will then move.
And
okay.
Oh, I can
and you'll
see,
have
yes.
2 hinges.
I've got it on the box again, yes.
Excuse it falling off, that's my poor gluing. And then all that you do is once you've got your lid assembled and all of this part of the hinge is nice and dry and set solid, these clip over into the lid.
Yep.
Glue them in, and that's your hinge assembled. So whilst it looks a bit fiddly and faffy because there's so many teeny tiny bits, it's actually really, really simple, and it gives you a nice ornate hinge that is pretty robust actually. Once it's assembled, it's good and robust. It's also got a slight stopper, so you can't over open the box.
Oh, I see.
One
So
of the
the lid
things
can't
that
go right the way
really
back,
annoys me with boxes, if you open the lid and it flops back and then you put stress on the hinge. Whereas that's been thought of, so they will only open to a certain degree and they won't go any further, so you're not going to get your boxes falling apart.
We're rapidly approaching 2/3 of the stock has gone of this particular one. So of course this one is the narrowest of the boxes, looking at 12 centimetres with regards to the width there. You've also got 16 and also 23 being the largest. Very, very popular, £22.97. So there you go. And I'm guessing the lid comes together in a similar way to the main box, and then obviously attach the hinge to the top.
Yeah, really simple assembly on the boxes, because you've obviously only got kind of like 5 pieces per top and bottom. Really, really dead easy, very self-explanatory. But the other thing with MDF is if you do it wrong the first time, so long as your glue's still wet, you can take it apart and reassemble. So it's good fun. Give that one to the kids to assemble, and it'll keep them occupied for a while.
I love it. There you go. So if you fancy creating your boxes, please be quick though. They've been very, very popular. 373156, £22.97. Jo, I can see that you've got the baubles ready. Did you want to go straight into your baubles?
Just let's really quickly show you. I'm not going to decorate one up, but just to show you with your baubles, you are going to get your slices, your segments, and you're going to get 5 segments, 2 little cogs and a key, effectively. And all you do with these is you pop your cogs into... I had this a moment ago. There you go. So your cogs clip on.
Okay.
And obviously you will be gluing them, not like me. So they clip in, and you just go segment by segment into the little grooves. Assemble them all the way around, like I say, 5 segments all together. And these are great when you decorate them up, you can personalise them. What I'm quite liking the idea of at the moment is painting them a really nice bright colour inside and using some of that organza from that pack that we've got to actually wrap around the bauble and put some faux snow and some twinkly lights inside. And I think that would look really cool. That was my brainwave while I was driving in this morning. So I might experiment with that later on. If I do, I'll pop a post on Facebook so that people can see what it looks like. But as you can see, they come together really,
I've got one here. I'm just having a little go with them. They're so easy. I like that.
Yeah. So once you've assembled them, the key part goes into the centre. Now there is a hole in the centre.
Okay,
What I tend to do, you can thread it through, but I'm not a fiddler or a faffer, I'm terrible. So you can have a long piece if you want to on your bauble, but what you can also do is just snap it down and make it shorter if you want to. So you can have the length any size that you like.
A bit of a pumpkin look about them as well.
You could, they'd be great actually if you papier-mâchéd with thin paper over them, painted it orange and put twinkly lights inside. They would be perfect for Halloween. You could do them as bunting hanging up, couldn't you?
Quite easy. You've still got time to get hold of them. You've got 6 of those. We've got a few decorated here with some fabulous Christmas papers, as you can see here. Which is lovely because obviously you've got the main pieces that have been covered, the MDF with the Christmas paper, and then some lovely kind of vellum elements that obviously you've got the template there you could trace around, pop those little inserts in there, so that's a nice little idea. Another nice one here, just using some of your glittery cardstock and maybe some of your paints. Don't forget we've got those wonderful paints on the show as well. You could be using some of those as well. They're perfect for you to cover cover your MDF with. Details at the bottom. It's like a chalk pick and mix with these. You've got 4 4 in there for just £19.96. Loads and loads of different colours. I'll tell you about those in a moment because we've got a fabulous colour chart. And again, this is an elegant look, isn't it? Because baubles don't just have to be for Christmas, do they? You could be using these, some absolutely beautiful elements there. Can I show you the colours of those paints on this board? Because they've been used there, and I think it'd be nice to actually see these in the flesh as well. So we've got let's go for this one where you've got, I think this one is your Heritage, I think, if I remember rightly. So this is a nice one. You've got a set of 6. So you've got all 6 of these. I love these. Rainy Day, Nebula there, as you can see. Aberdeen Scene, Pea Soup, Milky Tea and Lazy Pink, as you can see. These are nice. What sort of things can we use these on?
Absolutely anything. Chalk paint will go onto metal, onto wood, onto fabric, onto glass. If you put it onto glass, you do need to put some sort of sealer. But the one thing that I really have enjoyed working with these with, those discs that you've got,
yes,
each of them has got 1 coat of paint.
Really? My goodness.
One of those discs is black paper.
Wow.
One
That's
is white.
coverage.
The coverage is phenomenal. Most chalk paints that you buy from your average DIY store, they will have water added to make the consistency more more runny so that it's usable. These are almost like, let me just grab one.
I mean, that's good coverage, which if you're wanting to use it on things with regards to like your furniture and stuff, then yeah, you definitely want to have that thick coverage. Incidentally, the Aberdeen Scene, that one has actually sold out on the pick and mix. So if you do like the look of that one, the only way to get hold of it really is with your Heritage set. But to be honest, they work really, really well together. And Jo, you were saying about the paints there, you've got them there to show the thickness.
They're really incredibly thick. They're like clotted cream consistency.
Oh wow, yeah, look at that.
If you look at that green look, I've got that tipped on its side.
Yes,
and
it's not going anywhere, is it?
It is more like a gel. So to actually use them, what I tend to do is water them down a bit. Don't add water to your pot.
No, just
tap
as and when you
water
need it.
will eventually contaminate.
Okay.
So decant a bit, add water to it, and then use it. The other thing that I do as well is I used to nick my mum's saline solution for her contact lenses.
Oh, I see.
Because that's purified water. So that if you do want to mix a big batch of it, that's great because that will keep a bit longer.
Now I've got some of that saline solution. I was going to donate it because I use dailies now. I'm going to keep it now.
Use it to water your paint down.
I'm going to, definitely. Now the other option that you've got with regards to those paints is a different item number, but you've got your vibrants with these, and you can see there you've got your primers in there, so you've got plenty of opportunity using those primers. Toil and Trouble, I love that deep purple there. Carrot Juice, Swinging Vine, Candy Apple, Bottle Sunshine, and Electric Avenue. Oh, I feel like bursting into song. £27.94, 221 860 if you fancy getting hold of that. It's a certain generation will know exactly what I'm talking about. Totally over the heads of our younger staff here. So yeah, there you go, paints. If you fancy getting hold of those, please do so as well. I'm going to do a little recap if that's okay, Jo.
Absolutely.
Let you get ready for your demo. Because you guys have been shopping like crazy, especially those boxes, which I'll tell you about. Now, your artboard, 3 different bundles, 3 different item numbers. So let me take you through these to start with. First one, you've got your 6x6s, which are perfect for things like your cards, as you can see, and also you've got your 12x12. So if you are thinking of potentially creating an album with your traditional 12x12 papers, then that is going to be the perfect way to do it. £14.80, you are getting 16 pieces in total. You are saving £18. And of course, the beauty of MDF, perfect as a substrate to use just as it is, light enough for you to even put on your cards, as you can see. But of course, if you are wearing a mask, you can actually create holes in these and turn them into albums of whichever of those sizes you choose to go for. Wall plaques, loads of ways you can work with those. So if you want to know, those details are there on your screen, 779572. Different sizes in the next bundle. This time we're looking at A4 and A5, and of course your A5's half of your A4. 20 boards in total, loads of opportunity with these. You could use these in a whole host of different ways, especially if you've got other bits and pieces in your stash, maybe making hinges with these, making them into kind of triptych type projects if you want to do A4, landscape. There's loads of opportunity for you to work with these. You will have loads of fun. And at £14.80 for all of those pieces, I think incredible value for me. They even make fabulous sizes to boxes, wouldn't they, as well? So there you go. At £14.80, again, phenomenal value for money. Lots of you taking advantage of those. Last one that we've got for you, going to go large. We're going large with the next one, where you've got your A3 and your A4. So of course you've got A4s crossing over in both of these 2 sets here. So might be a nice set to go for the 2 of them together. £14.86, again, £19 saving this time. And again, some perfect opportunities for you to inspiring to use them really with your mixed media. That's the word I'm looking for. 182135. Something that might be nice to add to your mixed media are your cartouches, and we've got 40 of them in this bundle, as well as your A5 pieces. So you've kind of got your long ovals, which are a lovely, very elegant look to them. And then you've also got these lovely ones with these kind of little notches on the end there, which are almost like little name place, not settings, but you know what I mean. When you see a piece of art, you know, when you see a piece of art and it's mounted in a gallery, then quite often at the bottom it will have the name of the piece of that you're looking at. So that kind of name tag there. £9.99 at 314846 if you fancy those. Those, oh, what are we doing next, sorry? Oh, the A5, you're getting the A5 as well. I forgot about that, didn't you? Yeah. So you're going to get those with regards to those if you fancy getting a hold of those. Something else that you might want to add into your basket if you are thinking ahead to your Christmas decorations. This is lovely. You've got your 24 points on here. So it's a kind of a three-dimensional advent calendar. You might not have room to hang one up and you just want to create something perhaps to put on your windowsill, and you're adding your little decorations and all your baubles as you go. £12.99. Obviously, it does come to you flat packed. You're going to be adding those elements, but you can see your core centrepiece there comes together, and then you just kind of slot it on those elements as you go. Love it. And then, of course, if you don't glue it in place, you can just dismantle the whole thing and use it again next year, can't you? There you go. Fancy getting hold of those? Just £12.99. Lots of you going for the letters, by the way. We've got choices with regards to whether you're going uppercase or lowercase. Now, I'm going to bring the details for the lowercase at the side of your screen. The uppercase is at the bottom of your screen. Now, with regards to these, you're just looking at an extra 5 days with regards to your delivery. It's just the 27th. Gosh, already the 27th of October. My goodness. And your choices are 8 letters. Any letters that you like. So, how many letters have you got in your name, Shana? 6. So it could be S-H. We'll just call you Amy for today, I think, if that's okay, because it's a lot shorter. Mind you, I can't find Amy now, but I can hold those letters, I think. So you've got, obviously, and some of these are big size letters, as you can see there. So it could be May, it could be Amy, as you can see there. You're choosing 8. And as Joe quite rightly said, if you're going for the sort of, I don't know, home decor pieces and you're wanting to go for the word home, you can actually make 2 home decor pieces. Baby as well. It could be if you're using the word baby. If you've got unusual names as well, Yanis, Leonie, Hayley, sometimes with 2 Ys you can't find when you're out there shopping about. So here you could be creating yours. Molly with an IE. There you go. That is the tricky one to get hold of as well. Now these are all lowercase, and I know some of you do like to kind of start your names in your words with an uppercase, and you've been going for your uppercase. Lots of you have been going for these ones. You might just want to go for uppercase and that's it. Well, you can do. Again, you're going to get 8 letters, and again, it's the same price there, £13.92. Do keep a note of this item number though, because you can revisit this at any time. And you can see here what we added in this time. H-A-Y, L-E, and another Y. How long have we worked together, Marlo? And we've got a couple left over. Can I have a couple of kisses? A couple of kisses on the end there. There you go. We'll have those as well. Pop them into your basket, but make sure you are checking those baskets out. And of course, some of those letters you might find the stock becomes vulnerable, but we've got 5 days extended shipping on these. So I've got a feeling whatever letters you are after, you'll be able to get hold of. Details there on your screen. Lowercase, down at the bottom for your uppercase. Oh, bags of inspiration. These would be good to work with your letters, because you could be using these and adding little kind of decorations as you go. Now, there are certain elements that you are definitely going to get. So you will get the elements that are going to help you create your little wavy box. So you've got all those little wavy elements there. You're also getting an A4 artboard, which is kind of at the bottom with everything on top of it. Then you're getting a kilogram's worth of MDF. There's loads in there. MDF is really light. I mean, that's one of the whole things about MDF. It's not adding bulk or weight. So that means a kilogram goes a long way when you're looking at pieces. Some little itty bitty pieces, which are always very useful, but some really good sized pieces as well. I mean, these circles that you've got, I mean, those would be fabulous as, I don't know, maybe little plant stands. And then you've got the elements like this one, which could be something if you're doing maybe something, an underwater scene, it's meant to be a porthole or maybe a dream catcher or something like that. Loads and loads of elements. You'll have a wonderful time playing with those. I think it's a nice one to craft with the kids as well. £14.99, 241114. Is it next week that's half term with the kids? We're going to need plenty to keep them busy. So yeah, maybe that's something for you to get hold of. Now, our boxes. You've been liking these. 2/3 of the stock has gone. Now, Jo is only with us for this hour, so obviously she's shown us how to put that hinge together, which she mentioned earlier on. But the beauty is your MDF base is a wonderful base for you to work with, whether you're going to paint them, whether you're going to use your fabric on them, whether you're going to be using your papers on them. It doesn't matter. MDF will take all those possibilities. Look at this as a mixed media project. This is something you could add to over time, or maybe you're just going to give you the illusion that it's a vintage box, maybe making it brown, putting buckles on there if you wanted to, with things like your faux leather. And of course they are working boxes, so you've got that hinge that you've got within these on the back, which will allow you to actually create with these. So if I just turn that around and show you, so there you go, you've got your hinges there, and of course that allows you to open and close your box really easily. With regards to the size of these ones, you've got obviously your 12 centimetre, which is the one that we're looking at here. You've got your 16 centimetre. In fact, let me pop them all together. Let's put that back on there and I'll turn it to the side because it makes it nice and easy. So there you go, turning that round there. So you've got your 12 centimetres, 16 centimetres, and you've got your 23 centimetres. So it could be that you're making Christmas Eve boxes, but if you've got 3 children, see, this is a decision. I've got 3 children, but which one gets the biggest box? Is it the oldest? The oldest gets the biggest? Is that the way that it works? And then obviously your middle child. Middle child always seems to miss out there, doesn't it? I don't know. I think I might just take the largest one just to settle the argument, and then the kids can fight over the others. £22.97, 373156. Brilliant value for money, whether it's storage for things like your CDs that we heard of, things like your stamps, loads and loads. Now, mixed media pack is a nice way for you to decorate these. 260617, £9.99 if you're wanting those. Brilliant value for money. Lots of you taking advantage of those. You're getting all sorts within there, so you're going to get your fat quarters of organza in there. You're also going to get your webbing, not your wedding. You're going to get your webbing in there as well, and you're going to get your 25 swatches of fabric, a whole mixture of different fabrics there, and yeah, calico as well. Is it 2 metres of calico? Oh, half a metre of calico. I do apologise. So there you go, £9.99. Brilliant value for money. 260617. Now our handmade papers are proving to be popular. You're getting 72 sheets within there. The cream one is proving to be the most popular one. Is that the one that I've got over here? Let's see. Pick this up and show you. It's probably easier for me to do it this way. I mean, everything about these are beautiful. I mean, Jo, they're gorgeous, aren't they, these?
They are lovely papers, and they're a mixture. They're all acid and lignin free, so great for your journaling. So if you're doing 12 by 12 journal, you've already got your background paper already done.
Certainly have.
But they're also they're cotton rag and silk.
Okay.
So you can sew these.
Oh my goodness.
And they hold. They're really good. And if you crinkle them up and kind of manipulate the fibres in them, they will act more like fabric. So there's loads and loads of possibilities with them, and of course if you go for the cream pack you can add any colour you want. Look at that gold.
I was just going to say that. Can you do that? That is good. You get multiple layers of the, not multiple layers, multiple sheets. I
think you get about 6 sheets of each.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a nice box.
Yeah, so you've got plenty to play around with.
Love it. Oh, that's nice. And look at the starburst on there. So yeah, 72 sheets in total. You've got a lot of crafting to be done for just £14.97. You've got 5 options there. I'll put those back in place in just a few moments. You've got your black, you've got your multi, you've got your cream that we've just been looking at, the natural as well, and then of course you've got that gorgeous red. So if you fancy those, 190805, £14.97. Jo, we're going to come back over to you. What are you up to?
Really quick one now. I'm into my quick demos today. If there's a card that I've made, and I said earlier on, I want to go back to basics with MDF because it doesn't have to be used for mixed media. You don't have to throw loads of stuff on it. It is great for stamping on and colouring onto. So what I've done here is I've got some stamps already lined up, and I have a tendency to stamp first card to make sure that I've got the positioning of my stamps right, and then I stamp onto my my MDF. And what that also means is I get a bit of a twofer, because I end up with a nicely stamped piece of paper that I can decorate up, and my MDF. So all I've done is I've lined up my stamps where I want them to be. Please do excuse the disgusting state of my stamping platform.
I didn't catch the ink that you're using there as well.
This is just VersaFine Claire that I'm using. So most people have got VersaFine type inks or something along those lines, but you can, let's just bring this in, this one, while I'm stamping, This one I've used Distress Oxide and just straight onto the MDF, the raw MDF as it were. Because Distress Oxide's got that chalky base, it actually, the colours stay really true and work really, really nicely.
They'd be nice to actually stamp on top of those paints we were looking at. Incidentally, we've got a 7-day saver. If you are looking at the stamping platform that we've been chatting about, magnets. We always need more magnets. I need to get some of these. Details on your screen, £9.99. Up until Sunday at 8 AM, you can get hold of all of these, 8 of them, for just £9.99. Amazing value for money, 086098. But be quick, they're going to go up in price. As I say, come Sunday, they will have gone up in price. This is something else as well. Now, of course, we were talking, or Joe was talking about drilling holes, putting little LED lights in place. Well, you could do that with these. They are designed to go in bottles because you kind of got that cork detail, but of course if that's tucked away behind your MDF you wouldn't see it, would you? £9.99, 453 579. You could put those on your little star trees, couldn't you, that we just looked at. Lots of possibilities with regard to those, and of course bases. That is the other thing. We've been talking about MDF during this hour, but of course if you do want something like grey board as a base, we can help you. This is another one of your 7-day savers, so if you do fancy getting hold of it, you'll find it on the website. Call operators can tell you about those as well. So, how are you getting on with your stamps?
Good, good. So, there's my test piece done on suit card, and I'm happy with my layout. Now, most people with stamping platforms are made so that you can use them with either the foam-backed stamped or the non-foam-backed stamps, so your cling stamps.
Okay.
And to use them with your cling stamps, you take out the bottom layer. This bottom layer happens to be almost exactly the same depth as a piece of 3mm MDF.
Clever.
So, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to use a stamp platform onto MDF, but actually, if you take your base out, you absolutely can. And it means that if you go wrong on your first stamp, you've got a second chance. So, it's great. So, again, just inking this up with my VersaFine Claire, flip it over. I know that I've got my layout how I want it already. Give it a good press. And again, because I'm using a stamping platform, it doesn't matter if I don't get it perfect first time, but missed a tiny bit in the middle, so let's go in again. And one of the things that I like, I actually like these just without any colour even.
Yes.
I think it looks almost like pyrography, where you burn into the wood.
Yeah, well that's what I was trying to figure out, because I mean we do that as crafters, don't we? We see something lovely and then we try to kind of dismantle it and figure out how it was put together. And I must admit, I did think there was pyrography that had gone on with this.
Yeah, so there we go. That is absolutely perfect stamping. Helped, of course, by the fact that we've got I'm using the lovely chocolate baroque stamps, and they've got really, really good fine detail, really lovely made stamps.
I mean, on the card, obviously, you added a little colour, and I can see you're going to do that. But that, you could sell that quite easily, couldn't you? Just as simple as what you've done there.
Yeah, easy. Absolutely. They're lovely. And all I've done on the one that you've got near you, Hayley, that's a card, I've just used colouring pencils. These are Jane Davenport pencils, which we've had on before, but any pencil crayon will do. We've got Pergamano ones, haven't we, from Barbara?
There's loads of choice on the website.
Faber-Castell, polychromos, all of those sorts of things, and just they go on absolutely beautifully. If I just do a little bit of the green stem here, or the leaves, sorry.
And there you go, straight onto the MDF. That's the beauty of having a good quality base, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can blend them, you can erase them if you go a bit wrong. You can use your rubber to take the colour out, but it's exactly the same as working onto paper. And I think that these coloured up and framed up would look absolutely gorgeous if you were to pop these into a box frame. Take note, Hayley, box frame needed, please.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure she'll oblige. But you can do all of your blending, all of your colour mixing, and it just works exceptionally well, and the colour lays down beautifully.
Doesn't it just? There you go. And I mean, that's just straight onto the MDF, stamped straight in, get your colours straight in. I mean, it's amazing. And the fact that you could be making something and selling it as a home decor piece, and you're probably taking it as little time as you would make with a card. So yeah, but sometimes you'll find that when you're making home decor pieces, the kind of the profit that you make from those is a little bit more when you can't if you are selling your project. So there you go. What a lovely idea. Now the technique that you've just been using there, Joe, obviously you're using this on those art boards, and we've got these 3 different bundles. But if you wanted to do that on one of the boxes, could you do that perhaps before you construct the box?
You could indeed, yeah. I would do your stamping before, because obviously once you've constructed the box, you're going to be working around corners. But if you do need to go around a corner, if you lay out flat the joining pieces, then you can actually stamp across 2 pieces, and it'll look like you've been super clever and stamped around the corner.
Clever.
So,
very clever technique, yeah, that's so true. Thank you. And it was a chocolate baroque stamp that you were working with.
Yeah,
yeah, check it out on the website if you are looking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that these are on the website. I did message Leslie last night and say, oh, make sure that you've got plenty of these, because they absolutely lend themselves to being stamped. And I think that these were ones that Leslie actually has the blueprints.
Oh, right.
And that's where they started from, and then she's added her beautiful flowers.
Wonderful.
But just so that you can see that it colours up beautifully.
Gorgeous.
I'd leave the background fairly plain, maybe drop a little bit of shadow around the outside edges, just so that it doesn't look like it's flat on the page.
Good
and
point.
again,
Good
so
tip.
long as you're fairly delicate with your pencil, you can kind of add a kind of a shaded border, and they look really, really very classy.
They do indeed.
Very
classy.
plain and simple,
It's
but
a good
classy.
phrase. Like that. So if you want to do that on your artboard, obviously you've got your different choices. Your 8x8 and your 12x12s being the ones that we've just been looking at there. So if you fancy getting hold of those, you can do. But of course, as Joe said, why not take that technique and pop it onto your rectangular boxes? Because of course, when they come to you, they are flat packed, which means that you're quite easy. You could be stamping on those elements. Love that tip that Joe gave us, where if you are putting those together, put the hinge together. So I haven't got the right pieces, but you put the hinge together and then stamp across the join, and then that way, when you actually bend it around the corner, it looks like you've actually stamped around the corner. Clever technique, that one, Joe. Thank you for sharing it. But there you go, your 3 boxes. You've been loving these. They're all the same width. So when you're looking at the width of these, there were 31, I forget, yeah, 30.8, so just shy of 31 centimetres across, apologies. Then you've got your 12 centimetres, you've got your 16 centimetres, and your largest being your 23 centimetres. They're all hinged as well, so you've got that fabulous hinge detail, which is all part of the kit as well. This is the key thing. And it means that when you are creating these, you can create them where you've got that hinge element there, opening and closing as you go, as you can see there. Very, very clever technique. And if you have just joined us, do go back and watch the show from the beginning. It'll be on Rewind. We don't have another show with Joe today, sadly. But if you do go back and watch on Rewind, you'll learn how to put those hinges in place. Details on your screen, but be quick with regards to these if you're wanting to get them into your basket. Now, very quick question, Joe, with regards to the MDF. Carol's been asking, she was saying about protecting the MDF. So if you're using something like crayons or acrylic, do you need to kind of varnish or seal anything?
You don't need to. But what you can do is you can spray on a matte varnish or some sort of sealant. The other thing that you can do is use wax to do your sealing. So in the same way that you would do if you were making furniture, your MDF will take one of the wax furniture sealants, and that works really, really nicely as well. Gives it a nice sheen, but quite nice and plain.
I don't know if is it the same person asking the same question? So Carol again's asking about, can you score and cut your MDF as well? Oh, store. I did. Store, S-T-O-R-E. Saw, S-A-W.
You can, yeah.
I thought score. I thought, well, it's going to be a bit difficult to actually score and fold your MDF. How big are those muscles, Carol, I was thinking? So, sorry, can you saw and cut your MDF?
You can. Obviously, as we said before, same as if you're drilling, you will get dust when you're doing it, so wear one of your masks to make sure that you're not breathing any of the dust. But, yeah, it cuts beautifully. Carefully, I wouldn't go at it really hard, but yeah, if you use a little, is it a fret saw or a coping saw? One of the small ones, just to gradually cut pieces away.
We've got a couple of minutes left, Joe. I know you wanted to show us how to do a cracker with the handmade papers.
Really quickly, I just want to show you as well with these handmade papers, I discovered that you can print onto them, so I don't know if we can get this on camera, but this is run through my printer.
Oh, is that just an inkjet printer?
Yeah, just a standard inkjet printer. if you're making Christmas cards, you can now personalise your papers.
Wow.
To make your Christmas crackers.
That's
and I
phenomenal.
Think and the colours have come out really, really well. Now, there are some of the papers that are in the packs that are slightly more textured and slightly heavier. I just used the light ones to try that experiment with, but it worked really, really well. And if you've got a printer that will do slightly more heavy duty cards, you can probably print on almost all of them, and that's just another way of getting you decorating it. So I want to make a very, very quick Christmas cracker, sorry. And all I've done is full width of 12 by 12 paper, and I've cut this to 17 centimetres.
Lovely.
And then I've taken a piece of A4 card, thin card,
right,
chopped it in half, and then I've cut a 12 centimetre piece, and then the remainder I have cut in half. So they're either sides of my crackers. So
now,
really...
Jo, we've only got a minute left, so you might not be able to get them glued in place. Could you talk us through the rest of it?
So all you do, glue them in, and then if you do, where you've got these two pieces, do a fold here and fold here and here, and then cut, if I show you, if I undo this one.
Oh, I can see where you cut the little... little diamonds,
Cut little diamonds, and that then, when you close up your cracker, makes it close really nice and neatly. Now, I know that Hayley had on Saturday as well a kit where you got the snaps.
Yes, that's right.
So you could actually make these real Christmas crackers as well. Dead easy.
I love it. Thank you, Jo. Super speedy that was as well. Thank you very much for that. 5 options with regards to those handmade papers. The cream is proving to be the most popular, especially after knowing that you can print on them. Brilliant. But have a look at these. And of course, there could be Christmas crackers, Christmas colours or spring colours. It's entirely up to you. Jo, thank you for your inspiration as always.
Thank you, Hayley.
Always a pleasure working with Jo. Always a pleasure working with Jo. Material Magic coming up. I'm looking forward to this one straight after the break. And I'll be bringing you a pretty pair stamp. Looking forward to that one before we go back to the one-day special.
Hi, I'm Barbara Gray from Clarity Stamp Limited. We're well known in the industry for designing and manufacturing top quality, award-winning craft products. As with all craft projects, you need a good starting place, a great stamp, a top quality stencil, and in recent times we've developed the groovy Parchment art system so that your line art is perfect on parchment. Another exciting development to come from the marriage between Parchment and our stamp company is the fabulous designer papers and now the designer Parchment. There is nothing like it. Each groovy plate is precision etched, and by simply getting in the groove with a stylus, you can easily transfer great designs onto Parchment. Groovy is a modular system. The plates complement each other and work beautifully together. They are packed with elements and allow you to build your own original artwork. Whether you're a novice or a traditional parcher, you will love these plates. And for me personally, having beautiful line art is what motivated me to want to learn traditional parchment skills. So why not get in the groove with us here on Hochanda?
Flexi order has arrived at Hochanda. What is Flexi order? When you place an item on FlexiBuy in your basket, you qualify for Flexi order, which means any other items you add to your basket will also be included in your FlexiBuy payments, so you can spread the cost over multiple monthly payments. After your first payment is made, your entire order will be dispatched. When you add at least £60 worth of any items to your shopping baskets, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flexi Order offer. This means you can spread the cost of your order over equal monthly FlexiBuy payments, offering you the extra flexibility when you shop with us. Flexi Order, making your shopping experience with Hochanda easier.
Hi, I'm Andy from Picture This. I've been a painter all my life. Picture This was actually formed on the back of a throwaway remark from one of my art students. This has developed my drawings into a series of photopolymer stamps, clear stamps for the crafting community and the crafting industry. The stamps are all hand-drawn by me, they're made in the UK, most important to us at Picture This, and we have so much more to bring. Our shows on Hochanda, we hope to make them informative, amusing obviously, entertaining, but mainly it's about bringing the creative spirit to you. Make sure you tune in and watch the Picture This shows on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Paula.
And together we are Julie Hickey Designs. We formed our partnership after many years of friendship, after both of us being in the craft industry for well over 20 years.
We have a great partnership. I do all the day-to-day business side and Julie does all the designing.
Our range of stamps and dies are made to the highest quality. Our stamps are the deepest etch that are available and they are made in the UK. And they give you beautiful, clean, crisp impressions every time, and our dies cut like a dream. The thing I love to do most is to share my ideas, hints and tips with you, the Hochanda viewers, so I can inspire you to pick up a stamp and get creating. So be sure to tune in for the Julie Hickey Design shows
on Hochanda.
Good morning, how are you doing? Well, we have got a brand new supplier. Well, actually, to be fair, we have seen a little bit hints and sneak peeks of Material Magic throughout some happy hours and obviously other shows. But it is the first hour dedicated to the full, of course, the beautiful Material Magic. We have got here Anil, who is the owner of the company. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Finally. I'm all right. Fine, thank you.
Are you excited?
Nervous?
Well, of course, but you are going to be fine, and you have brought us such beautiful fabrics.
Brought you some amazing fabrics today.
Now, you have brought us poplins, which are really good for dressmaking, aren't they?
They're 100% cotton. They're 100% cotton poplin. It's better than pure cotton because pure cotton tends to be a bit rougher. This has got a nice, soft, smooth finish, and it's fully machine washable. It's ideal for crafts, dresses.
Fabulous.
And as you can see, it drapes really well.
Indeed it does. Now, can you tell us, because of course it's the first time that you are here at Hochanda, can you tell us how you came up with Material Magic?
Well, my father started the business 50 odd years ago.
Wow.
Started on the market.
Yeah.
And then myself and my twin brother, we then joined the business eventually. And we have a big fabric shop in Leicester. And Material Magic was born out of that big fabric shop. And then we've sort of got Material Magic, we've got Direct Fabric Warehouse, and we've just introduced a new company called Found It Fabrics, which is what some of these are from. So we're sourcing fabrics from all over the world under the Found It Fabric group, and we're introducing it to your family here.
That's great to have a family company joining us here at the Hochanda family. So we are welcoming you with excitement. Now, of course, talking about that poplin, we have got here a beautiful pick and mix option. It is the vintage paisley, and you have got a choice of 2 of them, and there is 6 different choices in there. Now, it is 115 centimeters wide, and you're getting half meters, 2 of them. Now, can you tell us a little bit about this gorgeous? So you were saying that poplin is perfectly for dressmaking, has a beautiful drape, and it's soft as well.
It's super soft, and as you can see, I mean, I did tell a couple of the girls at the shop a couple of days ago, saying I gave them some fabric, said make me some things up, and Maggie, who has made some amazing patchwork, as you've got on your counter as well. I mean, she was given very little time to make these, and she loves fabric. Yes. This is the first time she's actually attempted to make patchwork as well.
Really?
And I think the bigger piece underneath as well, that is just absolutely amazing. she's never done patchwork in her life, but she said the fabric was so nice to work with. It was so easy to work with.
It is.
And she made those two, and then she left this one here for me to finish off, which I won't finish off. She's made a front of a cushion panel, and I was supposed to finish it off with a bit of sewing, but I'm too lazy.
Well, when you have got a team that can help you out why to sew. Now, you choose whichever two. Shall we go through the different options
Yeah.
you can see? Because you have got here the black, so you can see the printed white into black. And then we have got the navy as well. So you have got white on navy. Then you have got the navy on white, gorgeous. And of course, because it's a set of two that you are choosing, this would be a lovely pair together because you would have kind of the positive and the negative together. Then going to the bottom, so we have got, shall we start in this one, which is white on, let's see which one shall we go, white on grey. I would say that, yeah, and I think that's more of a grey. It's a bluish grey, but it's definitely a greyish blue as well. Then white on blue, so definitely that's what. And then grey on black and white. Now again, these two would make a lovely pair as well together with that positive and the negative. So even though it's poplin, for quilting and patchwork will still work very well.
Perfect. It's quilting, patchwork, dresses, anything like that. It really works well. And then what we did was the actual designs are like a vintage paisley flower. But then what we did was we coordinated it with the star design, which I'm sure you'll be showing next. So you've got the coordination. And then we do the plain colour poplins, like on here with the blue to mix in. We do a blue and ivory, etc. That would coordinate nicely as well. So you can really do a mix and match.
Now I have got a question as well, because of course I'm very keen to learn dressmaking, and I was thinking, well, poplin, we are getting 1/2 meter pieces. Now, for instance, if I ordered 2 pieces of the same colour, would it be a continuous piece?
Of course. We cut everything off rolls. We have, as you can see, it's all on a roll.
Yeah.
And what we do is we cut continuous lengths. So, for example, if you fell in love with the vintage blue, as I would call it, vintage blue paisley there, you could say, for example, I want to make a dress, I need 2 meters. You can put 4 in your box, and we will send a continuous length of 2 meters.
That is phenomenal, because of course a lot of patterns require 2 meter pieces, so you can do that. 11.99 is the price, and remember, you are getting 1 meter in total, 2 1/2 meter pieces. If you want 2 different colors, if it's the same color, then it will be 1 continuous piece. You have got a saving of £3. 804-500 is your item number. Now, you can shop ahead on the website because you can see a lot more. Now, we have got that sparkle polyester fabric is phenomenal. It's really funky for jumpers or something like that. Now, of course, we do have got a craft fabric bundle that is phenomenal. $9.99 gives you 1/2 meter of hessian, 1/2 meter of calico, and also 1/2 meter of the material that you can see, the clear PVC. So that is $9.99 for basically 1/2 meter calico, 1/2 meter of hessian, and 1/2 meter of clear PVC. You also have got bundles of 1.5 meters of those materials as well. Going back to the poplin here, now we are going to the stars bundle, and again the colors will match beautifully that vintage paisley. Again, it's a pick and mix, 1/2 meter pieces, so you choose any 2, and again will be cut into a continuous piece.
Continuous, yeah.
Fabulous. Now, shall we go through the options, because we have got the black stars onto white in here, so lovely as well. Remember that you can then we have got the kind of, is this the grey? Oh well, and then the black. This one, is that grey?
Well, we call it a Wedgwood grey.
I see.
Because it's a bluey grey, and it's the one obviously we've got as our tablecloth today.
Indeed it is. But it makes it a lovely, I think it does make a lovely tablecloth in here. So it is a bluish grey. Definitely it's a grey with a bluish tone, or a blue with a grey tone. It's kind of you say it. So it's a difficult way to describe it. But then we have got the black, so white stars with black in here. Then we have got the navy with the white stars. Then this is more of a denim colour, I would
That's
definitely
right,
say.
yeah. I would call it like a chambray denim colour. It's slightly deeper, but yeah, perfect.
Chambray, I mean, I like that. Is that a different type of fabric as well?
It's a denim. We do sell denims, which we will be introducing to you guys soon. We do the heavy denims, and the chambray is more sort of a shirt weight, which you'll see soon.
Well, if somebody likes double denim, so they can go chambray for the
if
shirts.
If you want to put layers of denim, yeah.
Absolutely. If you know anybody like that. Then we have got the grey on white, and here the beautiful stars. Remember that they match beautifully as well if you go for the vintage paisley, so they can mix and match. Do check out your baskets, of course. Remember that you choose any two, and it could be the same color, and it will be cut into a continuous piece, and it will be 1 meter piece if that's the case. $11.99 is the price, a £3 saving. Now we have got here a really lovely fabric. Now this, I don't think the camera will do it justice how lovely this fabric is.
I've got a piece for you to wear underneath.
Yes.
I mean,
right.
That would make an amazing stole for evening wear. It's got that little bit of sparkle to it. It's got that little bit of panaz. And the two best colours, the nude, as we call it, nude pink, and the cream.
Absolutely. And it has got that kind of subtle sparkle. It's not that kind of, you know, it's not too, you know, brassy. It's just that kind of a gentle, you know, sparkle that you can have. And it picks up the light and reflects the light and kind of has got. And this to make like one of these kind of jackets, easy wear jackets.
Yeah, you can make like a cardigan jacket, which would be absolutely perfect out of that. Stole cardigan jacket, I mean, for evening wear, or for example if you're out late, I mean at the moment not, but eventually when we go out late in the evening and it's slightly cooler and you just want something to throw over your shoulders, or you just want a cardigan jacket just to slip on. Absolutely perfect for that.
Like a cardigan or something like that. I mean, I just kind of, obviously because I need to be careful with the mic, so I'm trying to be as careful, but look at that.
Look, that looks stunning. It looks absolutely stunning. It looks like $1 million, doesn't it?
It's just the softness of the fabric,
and
as
it's
well.
very chic.
It's really lovely. And of course, polyester means that it's vegan, right?
It's 100% polyester. It's fully machine washable, and the width is amazing. It's 150 centimeters wide, so it's very wide. It's wider than you would normally pick up.
It is, because usually, because it's 60 inches wide, so perfect for those dressmaking.Maybe you got a pattern from the previous shows. By the way, we have got that could from Dovetail with pattern dressmaking patterns later on, I think at 1 o'clock. So if you are looking for inspiration, there they are in the website as well. And remember, this you are getting a full meter. You have got the pink option, which is that nude, or the cream option. Here you can see that kind of ivory there. $11.99 is the price. Imagine that. Maybe you have been trying to kind of getting like the cardigan or something like that, easy wear, but you can make it for £11.99 for the full meter.
If you buy more than the meter, it will come in a continuous piece again.
Absolutely. So if you imagine that, if you're a very tall person, unlike me, you can have maybe the cardigan needs to be a very long piece. So there you have it. 275106 is your item number. £11.99 with a saving of £8. It's an amazing saving of £8. Of course, we are welcoming Material Magic here at Hochanda. And then we are going to the realm of being cute fabrics that are so beautiful here. Now here, I'm going to put it like this so you can see. Now this is Best Friends, and we have got the gorgeous little characters in here. Look at that. I adore it. Now here you are getting a meter fabric, and you have got two different options, I believe. So you have got the pink option and then the blue in there. Now $9.99 is the price for a meter fabric. Maybe you want to add both of them, so therefore you kind of select one at a time. And shall I open it?
You've got the blue behind you.
We
that
have
shows
got
you.
it here. Oh, you have heard that I'm the worst folder upper.
That's okay.
So, you know, it's
I'm good at bed sheets.
Yeah, let's see at how big it is. Look at that. So you have got, and it's so soft.
It's again a 100% cotton poplin. This is part of our Found It fabrics. This is one of the first things we introduced in the new range, and this is the new range that we introduced, and we just think it's fabulous. It makes up, it drapes, it's wonderful. There's a little scrunchie made up in it, in that design.
Look at that, the scrunchie. That's it.
Yeah, I had Rekha, one of the girls who's amazing at sewing. Again, like Maggie, I gave her a load of fabric. I said, there you go. Go ahead, and she came up with some wonderful. There's a little dress actually in that as well.
Sure, yeah.
there you go. She made up a very, very quick little dress in it with a little tie.
Could you hold it there for a second?
Yeah, of
there,
course.
perfect. Look how cute
Little
is that?
crunchy, scrunchy, I should say.
That's and that's just a meter of fabric, and of course you could make because I believe, and also our Natasha has got a pattern. I think it's the Emily dress that requires a half-meter piece of fabric, so you could actually do 2 of them as well. I think they are adorable. I also think, can I say, grown-up pajamas.
Yeah.
Grown-up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ideal for PJs because it's 100% cotton, so ideal in bed because you want something that's natural.
Yeah.
So
breathable,
and
yeah,
it washes like a dream.
Yeah, of course. And there you have got the best friends here as well, like little elements in as well. So think about it, because even if you have got leftovers, I think these elements would be lovely as well to have like embroidery elements. So imagine like maybe in a board in the bedroom or something like that, or the study or something like that, and then kind of embroider different elements and textures as well. I also think that for car making, just taking them and putting some wording or stuffing in the back to create that kind of, you know,
you can quilt it, yeah.
Yeah, quilt it
ideal
as
for
well.
quilting.
Absolutely, they are really cool patterns, and because they are nice, decent sizes as well, there's a lot of possibilities, creative possibilities. $9.99 is the price, saving £5. Remember, you choose pink or blue, and you have got that £5 saving, and you will get 1 meter piece. If you want more, of course, it will be, of course, continuous piece. 316123 is your item number. We are very busy for the feathers, and I do like a feather because it's very symbolic, a feather, isn't it?
Well, feather is very, very classical at the moment.
Yes.
And the 2 colours that we do, the sort of natural beige and the blue, they just work so well together. And they drape, again, being cotton poplin, that's why I've got it on the mannequin to show you that it just drapes. It drapes as well as a viscose, really.
It does.
But it's more durable.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Of course, so durability, breathability, and of course that beautiful drape. Now we have got 2 options: the beige, or the you can see there, and of course you have got also the blue, which is a beautiful soft blue. It's very elegant.
It's like an ice blue, actually. It's just a nice, cool blue. But as you can see, when it's draping, it's got that slightly silky effect to it, which is what poplin should have. If you buy proper poplin, it's got that nice sort of silky finish to it, even though it's pure cotton.
Yeah. So, of course, if you want to go for this, remember, it's a choice of one of the 2 of them. It's a meter fabric, 077 and 047 is your item number. I believe 10% of the stock from both options has already gone. Do check out your baskets quickly if you do not want to miss in the very classic, elegant of feathers. And, of course, you have got that £5 saving there. Now we are going into the plane, and we are flying away. Again, it puts a smile in my eyes.
Now, I actually did this one. I adore. I think it's absolutely stunning, and there's very little out there for boys.
Yes.
So this is why we introduced this one. And what we actually did, even though it's cotton poplin, we actually did a little lad's bedroom in it. We did curtains in this with black outlining to give it thickness. We did bedding. And he's got the whole thing. He's got curtains, a blind, and bedding, and then a little laundry basket, all matching. And he loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Oh, our producer, Kim, has got a lovely little boy, Abel, of 2 years old. And, of course, she's like, oh, I have been looking for a boy sort of print, but that has got, as well, raspberry sort of color, that corally color. Because it's kind of it makes it softens a little bit. And it's just gorgeous. I think my niece, who is 8 years old, would adore this print as well. So
well, that's just it. Even though it's geared up for boys, it's quite unisex because you've got that lovely coral pink in there. You've got the little sort of hint of gold, and then of course you've got that lovely blue, this sort of like little sort of turquoisey blue. So it's nice and subtle with other colours, so you can coordinate that. So for a girl's bedroom, you could use that and then bring out all the pinks, etc., with a bit of blue, and it looks superb.
Now, if we wanted to do a blind, what else would we need?
Well, with this one, it's 100% cotton. It's ideal for a blind, but what we would suggest always when making curtains and blinds is use a black